After ascending to the grand perfection nascent soul stage, I sit down to stabilize my realm and contemplate the interior of my body. Shortly thereafter, numerous dim lights rapidly pour toward my cave residence from all directions. They are the grand elders and elders of the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. At the center of them is Jin Byako. What is this? Surprise is evident in Jin Byako's eyes. I am currently revealing the aura emanating from my realm, making it clear to everyone through this oppressive force what cultivation I have achieved. Upon realizing that I have reached nascent soul grand perfection, the eyes of many grand elders and elders widened in astonishment. But, but, paradoxically, despite everyone's faces being filled with shock, the surroundings are incredibly quiet and calm. But at this moment, I am momentarily dazed by the extremely tumultuous intents. Literally, the intents of the elders, grand elders and Jin Byako are wildly surging. And finally, one of the grand elders at the heavenly being stage begin to cry out suddenly. Ancestors. Following this grand elder, a majority of the grand elders and elders begin to cry out one after another, their faces filled with emotional fervor. Could it be that emotions are contagious? Even Jin Byako's eyes seem to redden a bit. You. Step. He does not float in front of me but lands down. Jin Byako approaches me, grabs my shoulders and bows his head deeply. You are the future of our sect. It is not tears of sorrow, but tears of overwhelming joy that uncontrollably burst forth. This is happening across the entire leading figures of the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. Everyone listen. Jin Byako shouts loudly. Here, Seo Yunhyan has succeeded in mastering all of the more than 10,000 methods of the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. However, for some reason, he was left unable to use the lightning path method. Nonetheless, as you have seen, Seo Yunhyan has overcome even that with his prodigious talent and reached the grand perfection nascent soul stage in a short period. Everyone listen. Jin Byako declares firmly. I, Jin Byako, with the authority of the Supreme Sect Master, nominate Elder Seo Yunhyan as the next sect leader. Suddenly, at Jin Byako's words, the grand elders also begin to shout one by one. Current sect leader Jin Min also nominates Elder Seo Yunhyan. I, Vice Sect Leader Jin Hwi, also nominate Elder Seo Yunhyan. I, Grand Elder Jin Jinchan, also agree. Numerous Grand Elders nominate me at the same time, and the Elders also agree. Thus, I am unanimously appointed as the next sect leader. When the current sect leader Jin Min resigns, the next sect leader Jin Jinchan will take over, and afterward the sect leader position will be entrusted to Seo Yunhyan, the succeeding sect leader. And, from today onwards, to Elder Seo Yunhyan, who is now qualified to be the next sect leader. Well, Jin Byako stretches his hand into the air. His hand, performing a four-axis stage technique, connects through space to somewhere inside the golden divine heavenly thunder sect, taking out a golden belt. It's a golden belt, inscribed with the characters for golden lightning. I bestow upon him the surname Jin, symbolizing the qualification of the sect leader. Jin Byako, with a look of pride, hands me the golden belt, saying, "Take it from now on, you are Jin Yunhyan." Thus, by accepting the belt, I became Jin Yunhyan, the next sect leader of the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. The birth of Jin Yunhyan, a genius who inherited everything from the golden divine heavenly thunder sect, soon spreads throughout the entire sect and all of the Sky Islands. Jin Byako decided to hold a celebration 1 month later to confirm Jin Yunhyan's appointment as the next sect leader, and sent invitations to other human sects across each Sky Island. Many responded to the invitation. Moreover, the invitation even mentioned that grand cultivators at the integration stage would dispatch their avatars to attend. Many are amazed and look up to Jin Yunhyan. Except for Jian Myeonghoon. What's the matter, Sir Myeonghoon? Jian Myeonghoon remains silent, watching the giant centipede Hong Fan, who is smoking a long bamboo pipe in front of him. Didn't you say you wanted to meet my master? All right, I did. Jian Myeonghoon, with a blank expression, looks towards the cave residence behind Hong Fan. It's a cave residence familiar to Jian Myeonghoon. He has never entered it, but it belongs to someone he has been aware of for the last 10 years. When he told Hong Fan that he wanted to meet his master, Hong Fan readily took Jian Myohoon and headed towards a cave residence, filling him with anticipation. The sight of the entire sect's grand elders and elders flying towards the place struck by numerous heavenly tribulations is unforgettable. Jian Myohoon had caught the eye of such a promising elder and received help through Hong Fan for 10 years. Perhaps in the future this soon-to-be Grand Elder, he and Jian Myohoon would lead the sect together. However, Hong Fan had brought him to Seo Yunhaian's cave residence. At first he hesitated, unable to comprehend the situation. Then came denial. He thought perhaps the elder who had just reached the grand perfection of nascent soul happened to visit Seo Yunhaian's cave residence. But Hong Fan confirmed it for him. "This is the residence of my master, Seo Yunhaian." That was the situation until just moments ago. Seo Yunhaian, already at nascent soul grand perfection. When Jian Myohoon barely reached Chi building, Seo Yunhaian had already reached nascent soul grand perfection. He stands in front of the cave residence, incredulous for a while. He feels incredibly insignificant for being happy about reaching Chi building. While I have reached the Chi building stage, Seo Yunhaian is already on the verge of becoming a heavenly being. Is my heavenly golden thunder body not as good in quality as the lightning sacred body? He wants to deny reality. Beyond the interior of the cave residence, outside it, he wants to believe that the owner of the vast consciousness enveloping the entire peak is not Seo Yunhaian. Crunch. But it is reality. And Jian Myohoon, gritting his teeth, walks into the interior of the cave residence. Step. Jian Myohoon's steps are heavy, but he does not stop. The original Jian Myohoon. If it were the Jian Myohoon of the previous world, he would never have entered under such circumstances. He would have simply denied reality or compromised with it, passing it off as hidden talent or good fortune. He would never have gone to meet his rival. He would never have tried to acknowledge his rival. That is what the original Jian Myohoon would have done. But Jian Myohoon finally stands before Seo Yunhaian, who is sitting cross-legged, stabilizing his cultivation. Despite being in the same sect, it's been quite a while since we last saw each other. Jian Myohoon silently nods in response to Seo Yunhaian's words. Seo Yunhaian flicks his hand. At his gesture, a storage scroll unfolds beside Seo Yunhaian, and a small cushion comes out, landing in front of Jian Myohoon. Soon after, teacups and a teapot, among other tea utensils, slides out from the storage scroll. Sit down. Jian Myohoon silently takes a seat. With a flick of Seo Yunhaian's hand, the teapot moves in midair, tea leaves enter the pot, and droplets condense and start boiling inside it. Shortly after, Seo Yunhaian pours the tea in front of Jian Myohoon. This is Fate's palm tea. Just smelling its aroma can enhance spiritual power. For those below core formation, it triples cultivation speed for 3 days, and for Chi building, it increases cultivation speed for a month. It'll be useful for you, who has just entered Chi building. Jian Myohoon briefly holds the teacup, closes his eyes tightly, and drinks the tea. Without showing any signs of enjoying its fragrance or flavor, he gulps down the hot tea like a strong liquor, and then speaks. "Thank you for this precious tea, Elder Seo." And Jian Myohoon's formal speech seems to surprise Seo Yunhaian, whose eyebrows twitch in response. "What are you feeling?" Jian Myohoon bites his lip for a moment. Then slowly, yet clearly looking into Seo Yunhaian's eyes, he speaks. "I've decided to acknowledge it." "May you?" "No," he says, clenching his fist. "The fact that I have been lazy in my cultivation all this time." Surely we came from the same world, we're colleagues and are the same humans. But Elder Seo, you are already at that realm, and I, who has been told to possess a mythical talent, am still only at the Chi building stage. Once, my dual cultivation partner told me that true cultivators devoted to the Tao do not even sleep or eat, dedicating themselves endlessly to cultivation. At that time I disagreed, thinking that wasn't a life befitting a human. But Jian Myohoon looks directly into Seo Yunhaian's eyes. "Now I see that I might have been lazier than you. I'm ashamed of myself. But from now on, I will dedicate myself endlessly to cultivating to surpass you. Only after I've surpassed your realm, only after I've surpassed your position, will I treat you as an equal again." A glint appears in Seo Yunhaian's eyes. "It's surprising that you could change like this. Thank you for the teachings through Hong Fan all this time. I will take my leave now." "All right." At Seo Yunhyan's words, Jian Myohoon stands up, bows to him, and leaves the cave residence without hesitation. Jian Myohoon leaves Seo Yunhyan's cave residence, steps completely out of the domain of Seo Yunhyan's consciousness, and finally takes a deep breath. Phew! His back is covered in cold sweat. He has acknowledged Seo Yunhyan. It is different from 10 years ago. But as much as Jian Myohoon acknowledges Seo Yunhyan, he recalls the times he had tormented Seo Yunhyan. Fortunately, it seems like he doesn't care much. Since Seo Yunhyan barely showed any feelings towards him, Jian Myohoon sighs in relief internally. Honestly, I thought I would get beaten up a few times. Jian Myohoon himself was ready to be hit, as he had boldly shouted at Seo Yunhyan. However, Seo Yunhyan kept watching him with a clear gaze throughout, without saying much. If it was the old him, he wouldn't have been able to hold back his laughter. It really seemed like he had no feelings. Jian Myohoon thinks of Seo Yunhyan's eyes. That guy seems to have changed a lot from before. Like I've changed over 10 years, has he also changed? He smiles wryly, shaking his head after a moment of thought. Forget it, it's time to stop worrying about him. For 10 years, he has always been compared to Seo Yunhyan. And finally, as Seo Yunhyan reached the grand perfection stage of the nascent soul, approaching the status of a grand elder, Jian Myohoon has only just reached the position of a mere junior disciple. From now on, I'll stop worrying about Seo Yunhyan and trust and follow my own path. He decides to surpass Seo Yunhyan with a pure competitive spirit, without any more feelings of inferiority. With this resolve, he returns to his own cave residence and dedicates himself to cultivation. So for about a day or two, he remains unwavering in his resolve. Until Jin Byako announces to the entire sect about the next sect leader Jin Yunhyan. Damn it, the next sect leader. Jian Myohoon, emerging from his cave residence with a sullen face, turns red with anger. His master, Jin Jinchan, is a promising young 921-year-old grand elder and the next sect leader. And Jin Jinchan has always told him, to the point it became a mantra. You must succeed me as the sect leader of the sect. Wake up and get your act together. You may be below Seo Yunhyan now, but I swear on all the myths and honors of the heavenly golden thunder body, I will make you the sect leader. Even on the day he successfully performed the 7 stars ritual. I believed in you. From now on, your cultivation will improve rapidly, and you will truly be the one to succeed me. Jian Myohoon subconsciously thought that even if Seo Yunhyan became an elder or even a grand elder, he couldn't become the sect leader. Yang Sujin, who possessed the heavenly golden thunder body, is the god of the golden divine heavenly thunder sect, and Jian Myohoon is like the gods incarnate. Naturally, Jian Myohoon firmly believed he would ascend to the highest position in the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. Even though I'm currently below Seo Yunhyan, the sect leader will be me. But now, even if he becomes the sect leader, he will only be the next sect leader after Seo Yunhyan. Can never surpass Seo Yunhyan within the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. Damn it all, Seo Yunhyan. The resolve Jian Myohoon had made 2 days ago to surpass Seo Yunhyan with a pure competitive spirit flies right out of his head. I will surpass him, definitely. Crackle crackling. Crackle crackle. The accumulating lightning technique, the first technique of the 7 lightning quaking scripture that Jian Myohoon began to learn after reaching the chi building stage, reacts to his inferiority complex and emits even redder lightning. 1 month later, the celebration for the next sect leader Jin Yunhyan is held, and countless sects send envoys to congratulate him. This includes not only sects from Thunder Spirit Island, but also representative sects from other sky islands in the Cloud Island archipelago, as well as several grand cultivators at the integration stage who dispatch their avatars. Please accept this, future sect leader. Thank you. I express my gratitude to the representatives of the leading sects from other sky islands who came to congratulate me, and to the representative of Azure Spirit Island, Azure Tiger Saint, who pours me a drink. Azure Tiger Saint laughs heartily and slaps my back vigorously. I've felt this way before, but I really should have kidnapped you to our Azure Heaven Creation sect. Ha ha ha. What do you say? Any thoughts on joining our Azure Heaven Creation sect? I regret not being able to join the Azure Heaven Creation sect. However, the grace I have received from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect is profound, so I'm afraid I must decline that offer. I smile and converse with Azure Tiger Saint. Hearing our conversation, Jin Bayako glares at Azure Tiger Saint and shouts, "Thirsty? All right, let me pour you a drink." Azure Tiger Saint laughs and pours a drink for Jin Bayako as well. After drinking the alcohol poured by Azure Tiger Saint, Jin Bayako exclaims with a flushed face, "What nonsense are you speaking? The future sect leader Jin Yunhyan is the treasure of our sect, and coveting him will be considered a challenge against me." Quarrung. Seven-colored lightning bursts forth from Jin Bayako's body and strikes Azure Tiger Saint. Ha ha ha, this guy's old temperament is showing again. Thump thump. Azure Tiger Saint laughs heartily while hitting Jin Bayako's belly a few times, and Jin Bayako, clutching his stomach, takes a few steps back before rushing at Azure Tiger Saint and grappling him into the sky. The two highest-ranking seniors of their sects, having drunk potent spiritual alcohol, suddenly begin a friendly duel while intoxicated. They are at it again. Haha, my apologies for the unsightly behavior. However, Azure Tiger Saint, Jin Bayako, and White Bone Ghost Devil have been friends since their youth, so they tend to behave like this. The envoy from the Azure Heaven Creation sect apologetically pours me another drink on behalf of Azure Tiger Saint. I see, but do you know why the Black Ghost Valley hasn't come? I ask the envoy from the Azure Heaven Creation sect, puzzled. He shakes his head with a puzzled expression and says, "I'm not sure either. Black Ghost Valley did not send an envoy to my celebration. I've heard that the situation on the Sky Island where Black Ghost Valley is located is a bit unstable. Apparently, Black Ghost Valley, situated in Black Mist Island, is still in the midst of war. Although Black Ghost Valley had successfully ousted the former leading sect, remnants of the old sect are causing trouble everywhere. Hence, Black Ghost Valley is deploying their Nether crossing ship to quell the disturbances. Rumors have it that Black Ghost Valley is even gathering resources to construct another Nether crossing ship. Well, they must be busy, I guess. It's regrettable. I had things to discuss with Black Ghost Valley." I nod slightly, feeling a bit disappointed. I wondered if we could enlist their help. I continue conversing with the envoy from the Azure Heaven Creation sect and others, pondering over my thoughts. The envoys sent from countless sky islands represent an opportunity. It's an opportunity to smoothly proceed with the plan to seal the heavenly lightning banner. Among them, it is especially crucial to become acquainted with cultivators from the same head realm. I have no confidence in reaching the heavenly being stage before the owner of heavenly punishment descends. Therefore, I have no means of descending to the lower realms to seal the heavenly lightning banner in the head realm. But if I can't descend to the head realm as a heavenly being myself, someone else can take me there. The most suitable candidates are heavenly being cultivators originating from the same head realm. The target I have in mind is, of course, a heavenly being stage cultivator from Black Ghost Valley. Had Black Ghost Valley dispatched an envoy and I met with a heavenly being Grand Elder, I planned to secretly ask for their cooperation and in return offer to transfer to Black Ghost Valley. But since Black Ghost Valley is absent from this celebration, it can't be helped. It seems I need to look for an alternative. Just while I am making acquaintances with the envoys. "Hey you!" Suddenly, a burst of light flies in from somewhere. The next moment, quang! A massive explosion shakes the entire golden divine heavenly thunder hall where the celebration is being held. Kagagugu. What's going on? Jin Bayako, who was dueling with Azure Tiger Saint in the sky, sobers up and descends. However, his eyes widen upon seeing the instigator of the incident. "You are Kagagugu." As the dust cloud settles, I furrow my brows. A woman in black martial attire with a ponytail is extending her fist at me. Tab tab. I brush off the dust. "You are excellent to block an attack from this Hunwei dangerous peak." Kagagugu. I immediately assess the cultivation level of the woman who had suddenly attacked me. Heavenly being mid-stage, is she crazy? Even if I am at the grand perfection nascent soul stage, for someone of mid-heavenly being stage to launch such an attack at a lower realm cultivator is. It's practically an attack meant to kill. I frown. And why is Jin Bayako suddenly so agitated? Upon the appearance of the woman who calls herself Hunwei, Jin Bayako bites his lip, unable to stay still. Even Azure Tiger Saint seems to ponder whether to intervene or not. Is she the daughter of a high-ranking individual? I guess her status. Excuse me, but the Human Race Grand Alliance headquarters did not send anyone, and it's unlikely you are from there. Perhaps, are you the child of some distinguished person? Ha ha ha, quick-witted indeed. Yes, I am born from the lineage of a great human race integration stage grand cultivator. She's the daughter of a grand cultivator. I smile slightly. How come someone of your noble lineage has come to me? Enough. However, she abruptly cuts me off. Her following words leave me astonished. Let's get married. Translator notes, Hong Suryong was the heroine of this arc. Also, the Hun is pronounced as the Hun in honey. // Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 239, What is a Human 7. Marriage. I'm taken aback by the sudden proposal from this woman, but soon I feel a chill settling in my mind. How could you propose to someone as insignificant as myself? I am merely at the nascent soul, and if you are the daughter of a grand cultivator, surely you can choose a far better match. HMPH, quiet, I have decided to take you as my husband. Just be quiet and marry me. That's when it happens. Hemu? Sarawiru. Hong Suryong approached us unnoticed, and is now looking at Hun Wei with a cold gaze. What an interesting lady. However, Elder Jin here is currently my dual cultivation partner. Hun Wei frowns and says, So what? I've decided to marry this guy. You just have to give up being dual cultivation partners, right? Hemu? Hong Suryong looks at Hun Wei with an even colder smile. The next moment. Flash. Stop it, Grand Elder Hong. Clench. Suddenly, with a flash of lightning, Hong Suryong is holding a flying sword pointed at Hun Wei. Jin Bayako stepped in between Hong Suryong and Hun Wei, grabbing Hong Suryong's wrist. Oh my, why didn't you stab a bit more? Hong Suryong's flying sword is hardly an inch away from Hun Wei's nose, and Jin Bayako is sweating. Grand Elder Hong, please calm down and put away your flying sword. And miss, please step back for now. HMPH. Hong Suryong sheathes her flying sword and takes a step back. Hun Wei snorts and crosses her arms. Little lady, sorry, but your dual cultivation partner is rumored to be the genius of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. I must have him. Is being the daughter of an integration state, grand cultivator everything? What right do you have to take my partner as if he's an object? Hong Suryong asks with a frosty look. Hun Wei unfolds her arms and straightens her posture. Right, I've been too brief in my introduction. Hun Wei doesn't look at Hong Suryong, but turns to me and says, My father currently holds the position of the Guardian Grand Cultivator at the Heaven-Earth Palace. Guardian Grand Cultivator of the Heaven-Earth Palace. The Heaven-Earth Palace is where the flying immortal platform that lower realm cultivators reach when ascending is located. The Heaven-Earth Palace alternates management between the Heaven Tribe and Earth Tribe every 5,000 years. To protect against attacks from the Heart Tribe, True Devils, Blood Yin Realm Heavenly Fiends, and Nether Ghost Realm monsters, many four-axis stage cultivators reside in the Heaven-Earth Palace, guarding it. To manage these four-axis cultivators, the Heaven and Earth tribes appoint an integration stage grand cultivator as the Palace Lord of the Heaven-Earth Palace whenever it's their turn. Thus, those who become the Palace Lord of the Heaven-Earth Palace take on the duties and responsibilities associated with the palace, including responding to unexpected attacks or when strange creatures ascend from the lower realms. Due to these responsibilities, the Palace Lord is often referred to as the Guardian Grand Cultivator rather than by their official title. In short, it seems that Hun Wei's father was the one holding the position of Palace Lord of the Heaven-Earth Palace when we first ascended. The Grand Cultivator who didn't show up when Mad Lord first kidnapped the four-axis stage cultivator from the Heaven-Earth Palace is Hun Wei's father. Thinking about it, if Hun Wei's father had rushed to capture the Mad Lord when the Wooden Man was kidnapped, the Mad Lord could have been cured of his madness right there and then. But for some reason, the Palace Lord of the Heaven-Earth Palace never showed up until the end, allowing the Mad Lord to escape freely and eventually evolve the wonderfully mysterious fortress to its limits. In retrospect, the reason the Mad Lord could ravage the bright cold realm for 1,000 years was partly due to her father's negligence. Moreover, my father is also the Palace Lord of the Pinglai Palace, one of the top 5 cultivation sects in the human race territory, and I am one of the 21 law enforcers of Pinglai Palace. If you marry me, not only will the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect receive support from Pinglai Palace, but you will also have the backing of the Palace Lord of the Heaven-Earth Palace. Additionally, I will ask my father to teach you. But it's absolutely in your best interest to marry me. If you join Pinglai Palace, I will support you in learning the Mount Tai splitting Emperor technique, a method that only the children and direct disciples of the Pinglai Palace Lord can learn. Sighs erupt here and there at her words. Even so, to teach the Mount Tai splitting Emperor technique to an outsider. Such a formidable will. How many have learned the Mount Tai splitting Emperor technique other than the direct descendants and direct disciples of the Pinglai Palace Lord? I look at those who sigh. The administrator of Thunder Spirit Island and the avatar of the integration stage Grand Cultivator, Y Ryoncian. Followed by the avatars of the integration stage Grand Cultivators Yoon Yon and Gi Jin, all sighing one after another. Even the integration stage Grand Cultivators show such a reaction, indicating the powerful nature of the Mount Tai splitting Emperor technique. It seems like an Earth attribute method, judging by the name. It would suit me well. If I only consider the benefits I can gain, there's no reason to refuse. However, after cooling my head, I reply with a smile. I'm sorry, miss, but unfortunately, I already have a designated dual cultivation partner assigned by my sect. Currently, I have no intention of marrying anyone else. Her face fills with a competitive spirit. A devoted lover, I see. That makes me want you even more. Are you proposing simply because you want to have me? No, not at all. Seeing you block my attack made me fall hard for you, so let's get married. I observe Han Wei with clear eyes, and Hong Soo-young scoffs, turning away from her. Han Wei smiles at me and says, "It seems you haven't made up your mind yet. In that case." Snap. She snaps her fingers, and her storage bag opens beside her. From the storage bag, an immense light begins to pour out. This is. Jin Byaku's face turns to shock, and the disciples of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect and the congratulatory envoys fly up into the sky in surprise. Kagagugugu. From the storage bag, countless spirit stones begin to pour out like a waterfall. The summit of Thunder Cloud Peak, where the Golden Divine Lightning Hall is located, is soon covered in spirit stones. At a glance, the amount of spirit stones exceeds 2 to 300 billion, a staggering quantity. But it doesn't end there. When the spirit stones begin to spill over the summit of Thunder Cloud Peak, Hun Wai's storage bag stops pouring out spirit stones. Mid-grade spirit stones, 100 billion. With this much, your sect's finances should be secure for about 100 years. To someone from Pinglai Palace, this is nothing. If you marry me, you will receive infinitely more support. Jin Byaku is speechless. I, too, am momentarily taken aback by the overwhelming quantity, letting out a hollow laugh. Is there nothing that wealth can't do? Certainly, it's an amount worth considering. Moreover, if I marry her, the support will be even greater, enough to make any cultivator's heart race. As expected, after seeing the pile of spirit stones, Jin Byaku approaches Han Wei with an even more respectful attitude. Thank you for the support, miss. However, Elder Jin is a pillar of our sect. I'm not asking him to switch his allegiance to Pinglai Palace. Simply marry me, and let the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect have frequent exchanges with Pinglai Palace. This financial support is a congratulatory gift for Elder Jin Yunhyan's appointment as the future sect leader, so accept it without burden. Hyo-hyuk. Then, I shall take my leave. I will come to give congratulatory gifts more often in the future, so think it over. To rise from the nascent soul stage to the heavenly being stage, resources are important, but Pinglai Palace has even more resources to aid in reaching the understanding needed for the heavenly being stage. With those words, Han Wei gives me a spirited look, then flies away using the flying escape technique. After her short but intense visit, silence lingers in the celebration for a while. That's enviable. Anyway, let's continue with the celebration. Azure Tiger Saint gives a hint to the bewildered Jin Byaku, who quickly regains his senses and hastily signals the core formation and other disciples. Then the disciples swiftly fly around, gathering the spirit stones. Then, let's resume the celebration for now. Upon seeing the astonishing cascade of spirit stones, a wave of extravagant congratulations began pouring in from the representatives of numerous other sects toward Jin Byuk-ho. Congratulations on your good fortune. Ha ha ha, even if Lady Hun-Wei is known to be difficult, she spends generously when needed. If you two become dual cultivation partners, the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect is surely on the road to prosperity. Though she's the naughty daughter of the Grand Cultivator, still, the wealth of Pinglai Palace is said to be among the top 2 in the human race territory. What an excellent opportunity. Overwhelmed by the continuous flood of congratulations, Jin Byuk-ho seems to be out of his mind. Hong Suryong and I exchange glances. She clicks her tongue and says, "She seems like a crazy old bat. Be careful, Jin Yun-hyun." She shouted about being smitten and whatnot, but her true intentions were completely different. Yes, I saw it too. I can't help but smile wryly. Had she genuinely confessed her love for me out of sincere affection, even I might have been swayed. However, I remember her aura of intent. It was the kind of intent you'd see from crafty old foxes. She is definitely not an easy opponent. After the celebration, I have a meeting with the elders in the Golden Thunder Hall. So, to the future of our sect, Elder Jin Yun-hyun, congratulations. Jin Byuk-ho says, seated on his grand seat. Now, I am also treated as an elder, assigned my own seat in the Golden Divine Lightning Hall. Thank you, Supreme Sect Master. Right, normally, after the celebration you would be allowed to rest, but there's something I need to discuss. I can well guess what the discussion will be about. About the marriage proposal from Lady Hun-Wei, the daughter of the integration stage Grand Cultivator Hun-1, Dangerous Origin, the Palace Lord of the Heaven-Earth Palace. Yes, please speak. First, do any of the elders have information about Lady Hun-Wei? Yes, I have quickly looked into it. Grand Elder Jin Chan stands from his seat among the elders to speak. She is one of the 17 children of the Heaven-Earth Palace Lord, the 7th child, to be precise. She is 3,120 years old. However, her talents are somewhat lacking, as she is still only at the mid-heavenly being stage. But she is making progress in her cultivation and is expected to reach the late stage of heavenly being soon. Over 3,000 years old. Jin Byuk-ho's eyebrows twitch at that information. That's high. Among those who ascended from the lower realm, unless it's the Sea Dragon King or the Holy Peng King, there's no one in the human race who can surpass her age. Being of the dragon race, Coatreal has a basic lifespan well over 4,500 years, and the Holy Peng King of the Peng race exceeds 3,600 years old. However, the lifespan of human race cultivators, even those who reached heavenly being, barely touch 2,500 years. Thus, Hun-Wei's age of just over 3,100 years is quite significant compared to those who had ascended from the lower realm. Yes, it seems she has continuously extended her lifespan through longevity fruits and elixirs abundant in the bright cold realm. I see. Is she facing a bottleneck in her cultivation and hoping to overcome it by taking Elder Jin Yun-hyun of our sect as her dual cultivation partner? That seems highly likely. Does everyone know about Pinglai Palace, to which Lady Hun-Wei belongs? The Human Race Grand Alliance currently has 6 leading cultivation sects. First, the mystical scaled fish commanding sect, backed by the Black Dragon King, Hyun-eum. Second, the Entering Truth Gate, backed by the integration stage Grand Cultivator, Gi-jin. Third, the Heavenly Lotus Palace, backed by the integration stage Grand Cultivator, Yung-yeon. Fourth, the Pinglai Palace, backed by the integration stage Grand Cultivator, Hun-1. Fifth, Black Ghost Valley, which has no Grand Cultivator but has an enormous number of disciples, branches across every Sky Island, and a network with the Nether Ghost Realm. Sixth, Yin Soul Ghost Sect, which is in a competitive relationship with Black Ghost Valley and similarly follows devilish cultivation. These 6 sects are the powerful mainstream sects leading the Human Race Grand Alliance, known as the 6 major sects of the human race. Although we've absorbed Thunder Cloud Pavilion, our sect is still considered a weaker emerging sect. If we receive support from Pinglai Palace, and with the growth of Elder Jin Yun-hyun and Jian Myung-hoon, who possesses the heavenly Golden Thunder body, someday, our Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect can surely become the leading sect of the human race. However, Jin Byuk-ho's gaze shifts to me, and then to Hong Suryong. The important thing is the will of Elder Jin and Grand Elder Hong. For starters, what does Grand Elder Hong think? What's there to say? Hong Suryong replies with a sneer. I have no intention of giving my dual cultivation partner to that dimwit who, despite being in the resource-rich bright cold realm, is barely touching the late heavenly being stage. // Discord https://dsc.gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 240, What is a Human 8. Translator, Translating Novice. Editor Z0rel. At Hong Suryong's candid remark, Jin Bayako coughs awkwardly and looks at me. What does Elder Jin Yunhyan think? It's a bit surprising. However, even if we do not marry her, building a friendship doesn't seem like a bad idea. There are feelings from Grand Elder Hong as well, and since I also don't know what intentions Lady Hun has in proposing, it seems we should wait and watch for now. I see. Jin Bayako nods and says, considering the relationship between Elder Jin Yunhyan and Grand Elder Hong Suryong, and since we do not know why Lady Hun Wei suddenly proposed, we will politely decline the marriage proposal. Today's meeting is concluded. With those words, Jin Bayako issues a dismissal, and the elders inside Golden Thunder Hall use their flying escape techniques to return to their respective cave residences. In the Golden Thunder Hall, only me, Hong Suryong, and Jin Bayako remain. Do Grand Elder Hong and Elder Jin have anything else to say? At Jin Bayako's question, Hong Suryong nods. Yes, besides Elder Jin Yunhyan's marriage, I would like to talk about Lady Hun Wei. Speak, I trust Grand Elder Hong's judgment. Hong Suryong nods and speaks with cold eyes. Lady Hun Wei considers Elder Jin Yunhyan as a mere object, not just Elder Jin, but the entire sect as well. I nod in agreement. The confrontation Hong Suryong had with Hun Wei today was not just out of simple jealousy. Her emotions were clearly visible to me and her, who can see intent. The intent that completely thinks of me as an object and a means, and I recall her heart essence with a bitter smile. Although not as extreme as Cohreal, she possesses quite a desolate heart essence. She has a very calculating personality, hiding her true self. In other words, the mischievous temperament we saw today was all an act. Compared to Cohreal, it's cute to the extent of a baby lizard. With such a heart essence, it seems like one could be backstabbed at any moment. Hong Suryong also shares her observations about Hun Wei's intent with Jin Bayako. If you do form a friendship with her and the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, be cautious. Someone with such intent cannot be trusted. I'll take note. Jin Bayako nods at Hong Suryong's words. Hong Suryong then looks at me. Now you should return as well. Grand Elder Hong, please go ahead. I have one more thing to convey to the Supreme Sect Master. Is that so? I also have something to test today, so after you finish your business with the Supreme Sect Master, come to my cave residence. Understood. Hong Suryong opens a space rift and returns to her cave residence. So, what is it that you wanted to say, Elder Jin? Yes, Supreme Sect Master. As you know, I achieved ascension on my own. Yes, that certainly was the case. The Heavenly Lightning Banner must eventually be separated from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. However, I am now the future sect leader of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, a talent at the nascent soul stage grand perfection, and a genius who has mastered all the methods of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. My ascension was, in fact, thanks to the help of our sect's founder, the Golden Deity. Strictly speaking, the ability to ascend was thanks to my formless sword, the blessings of the serving command seal, and the help of Yuan Yu. But anyway, the reason for ascension was because of the arrangements left behind by Yang Sujin at the Ascension Gate, so it isn't a wrong statement. But omitting the crucial part of my explanation, it sounds to Jin Bayako as if my ability to achieve ascend was entirely due to the Golden Deity. Jin Bayako shivers at the thought. Does the Supreme Sect Master know about the stele that the Golden Deity left at the entrance of the Ascension Gate? There was his arrangement. Thanks to that, I was able to ascend to the bright cold realm. My choice to join the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect was also because I received the Golden Deity's arrangements, and I thought it right to go to his descendants, the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. Upon hearing this, Jin Bayako trembles and then exclaims, "So that was it, that's how it was." Jin Bayako nods as if he finally understands. When I first tested your qualities, you had a 5-element spiritual root, but after your ascension, you had a lightning sacred body. I see. The founder granted you the lightning sacred body. Oh. Jin Byako perfectly fills in the blanks, with things I hadn't even thought of. Well, in a way that's true. Yes, Jin Yunhyan, so what message do you have for me? That is... I pause for a moment. While the heavenly lightning banner has to be separated from the sect, it will be ideal if the golden divine heavenly thunder sect brings the heavenly lightning banner to the head realm by themselves. However, I hesitate for a moment. In the past, I exerted my efforts in the beginning at Ascension Path to prevent my colleagues from falling into the hands of Cohrial and the Mad Lord. The result was a colossal failure. Fate forcibly intervened, and in some manner, my colleagues were captured by the designated individuals. I recall Yang Sujin's words. The fate of this world is predetermined. Then, Jian Myohun coming to the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect is also a predetermined fate, and the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect being destroyed by the true immortal is also a predetermined fate. Whenever I try to change the predetermined fate, fate twists and then restores itself to the predetermined outcome due to its rebounding force. Will it be the same this time? If Jian Myohun losing the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect to the true immortal and becoming the Lightning Harbinger is also a predetermined fate, then there might be no point in trying to change it. Is there any meaning to it? What are you trying to say? As I hesitate, Jin Byako asks impatiently. I look at him. Fate is predetermined, and non-humans lack free will. That was Yang Sujin's opinion, and whether I like it or not, I can't help but agree with him. I have seen several times how fate, somehow, changed its flow into the predetermined outcome. Then, will explaining anything to a non-human make any sense? What meaning will there be in persuading him? I don't know, but I decide to speak. According to the founder's arrangement, I saw the real content written on that stele. The real content of the stele, that's supposed to be the content passed down in our texts. That content is false. I shake my head. And then I explain to him what I saw on the upper part of the stele in the Black Castle as Yang Sujin's arrangement. That's the original content of the stele. The immortal treasure is connected to the true immortal, thus it must not be taken up there. Upon hearing my words, Jin Byako wears a serious expression. Has it taken effect? It's different from before when I was merely at the core formation stage. I am someone who, thanks to the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, and having a slightly larger original consciousness than ordinary cultivators due to reaching 5 energies converging to the origin, possess a grand perfection nascent soul-level consciousness comparable to the heavenly being stage. I've reached the pinnacle of the nascent soul stage in just 10 years, successfully mastered all the methods of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, and been designated as the future sect leader. That is me. In short, my significance to Jin Byako has changed completely from the past. Moreover, since I use Yang Sujin's arrangement as an excuse to persuade him, Jin Byako also cannot easily deny it. So, your stance is ultimately that the heavenly lightning banner must be brought back to the head realm and sealed once more. That's correct. Shadow falls over Jin Byako's face. Silence lingers in Golden Thunder Hall. After a moment dominated by silence, Jin Byako speaks up. Do you know why the Jin surname, rather than the founder's Yang surname, has been passed down to the sect leaders? I don't know. Jin Hwi, your master, must have explained it to you. All the methods of our sect are in the end imitations of the heavenly Golden Thunder body. In short, the abilities that can be used by the heavenly Golden Thunder body were degraded and reproduced as methods in our sect. However, the heavenly Golden Thunder body is not simply a physique that is passed down through bloodline. It's a constitution born to those chosen by the heavens who receive celestial energy. The same goes for other physiques like your lightning sacred body or the red spirit body. Most are similar. Jin Byako's explanation continues. As you know, combining all the methods of our sect results in the extinguishing divine tribulating heavens, a kind of sacrificial ritual. And there is one fact that has been passed down only to the sect leaders. That is, the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect itself is a kind of ritual arranged by the founder. And and the Jin surname instructed by the founder to be passed down to the sect leaders is also said to be a preparation for some ritual. Although it is unclear what kind of ritual it is assumed that the ritual is related to fate since names contain fate, and changing names accomplishes the ritual. Is it because of the ritual that it can't be done? That isn't a problem either. Since Yang Sujin himself considered the ritual a failure, I can just tell him about it. The important thing is, this ritual is connected to the Jin surname. The founder connected fate to the heavenly lightning banner, using it as a flag for the ritual. I feel an ominous premonition from Jin Byaku's following words. The heavenly golden thunder body or lightning sacred body, or typical constitutions, are not inherited through bloodlines but through celestial energy. Of course, there are exceptions like the extraordinary pattern law talent, but most extraordinary qualities are like that. However, the wall force constitution that Sohei was born with is different. Jin Byaku's words continue. Those with the surname Jin are born with the wall force constitution. The surname itself contains fate and celestial energy, granting the physique to the bloodline. When the celestial energy weakens as descendants continue, that's when the wall force constitution's physique ends, and descendants who do not receive the wall force constitution can no longer carry on the Jin surname. Originally, Sohei's children would not be able to inherit the wall force constitution and would have to take another surname. Well, I'm not sure what would happen if there were children with Jian Myonghun. He sighs. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is for one reason. Do you know where the fate's attraction that bestows such a wall force constitution comes from? I harden my expression, catching the essence of Jin Byaku's words. The heavenly lightning banner. Yes, there are an enormous number of people with the surname Jin in the sect, because the sect leaders have continued to have descendants, and those descendants had more descendants. About 1/10 of the sect's disciples carry the Jin surname. In short, if the heavenly lightning banner is to be placed in the lower realm, it means we have to bring all those disciples back to the lower realm. Most of them have relied on the wall force constitution for their cultivation. So, if the heavenly lightning banner returns to the lower realm, the wall force constitution could disappear, and all of their cultivation could crumble. You must know how many elders and grand elders in the sect carry the Jin surname. While it's about 1/10 for the whole sect, it's actually more like 7 or 8/10 among the elders and grand elders. In short, resealing the heavenly lightning banner in the lower realm means we will have to send back 7 or 8/10 of the sect's main forces to the lower realm. I am speechless with disbelief. It's one thing to bring the heavenly lightning banner back to the lower realm, but doing so would immensely weaken the sect's power immediately. Yet I notice something odd in Jin Byaku's words. Wait, then how has the golden divine, heavenly thunder sect managed ascensions until now? Hello? I've heard about the traitor who entered the Thunder Cloud Pavilion, called Jin Wei. If those with the Jin surname ascended before, wouldn't they have lost their cultivation upon successfully ascending? Jin Byaku sighs and shakes his head. There's something called the ancestral command in our sect. Wung. Jin Byaku takes out a jade token with a golden glow from his pocket. The words ancestral command are engraved on the jade token. The ancestral command is an item that can only be used once every 100 years. It's a dharma treasure used for handling important matters of the sect or for expelling the sect's major traitors. His words continue. Most grand elders of our sect receive the golden lightning belt, but a very few receive the heavenly lightning's white belt. This heavenly lightning belt is made using the power of the ancestral command to borrow the power of the heavenly lightning banner. So then, yes, those who receive the heavenly lightning belt are selected only from those with exceptional qualities enough to ascend. Those who receive the heavenly lightning belt maintain the Jin surname even if they move to another realm, thanks to the power of the belt. Using the power of the ancestral command to create enough heavenly lightning belts for everyone will take tens of thousands of years. Is that so? My complexion darkens. Seeing my expression, Jin Byaku says, Are you afraid because, as the founder said, a true immortal might target our sect? Yes. Don't worry. Since time immemorial it has been said that the bright cold, true devil, ancient force, nether ghost, and purple gold are closed realms that true immortals rarely visit. It's from an old document I saw in the Black Ghost Valley, but it said that it would take a considerable amount of time for true immortals to come here. Even at the very least, we have 1,000 years. If we can nurture Jian Myohun within that time, we can draw power from the heavenly lightning banner using the power of the heavenly golden thunder body without the ancestral command. Then, you can seal the heavenly lightning banner in the head realm as you suggested. Jin Byako comes over and pats my back as if to say don't worry. I nod, pondering. Is this also fate? It feels like the world itself is blocking my path, as if it will not allow me to alter the predetermined course. If I say the owner of heavenly punishment will come within 100 years, he will not believe it. I read Jin Byako's intent. Ever since I mentioned sealing the heavenly lightning banner in the head realm, worry and anxiety had dominated his mind. It seemed he was worried about losing the sect's main force overnight. Already sensitive, he will be furious if I suggest that we must take drastic measures because a true immortal will chase us within 100 years, even if it means losing the sect's power. Moreover, when he mentioned what he saw in the Black Ghost Valley, the worry in his intent disappeared, suggesting he has some confidence and basis in the 1,000 years mentioned. But I can't say that the owner of heavenly punishment is a governing immortal, making 1,000 years meaningless. Just learning about the existence of governing immortals made my body melt like wax, and only thanks to Yang Sujin's protection did I barely survive. Hence, I don't know what will happen if I inform Jin Byako about such things. Is there no other way? I bow to Jin Byako and then leave the Golden Thunder Hall. Do I have to steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner? Now I have two choices. First, proceed with the original plan to bring the Heavenly Lightning Banner to the head realm and seal it, regardless of whether most of the sect's power loses their cultivation. Second, make Jian Myohun stronger than originally planned, using the power of the Heavenly Golden Thunder Body, as Jin Byako suggested to eliminate the side effects before sealing it. For now, I'll go with the second option. I look towards where Jian Myohun's cave residence is located. Not just aiming for my entry into the Heavenly Being stage, but somehow getting Jian Myohun there as well. I listen intently towards Jian Myohun's cave residence. With my hearing, sharpened by practicing demon beast methods, I can hear the sound of dual cultivation from Jian Myohun's cave residence. With such sloppy training methods, Jian Myohun will remain at the core formation stage even when the owner of heavenly punishment arrives. A more forceful method of cultivation is needed. From now on, I will personally train him using the ways of the Azure Heaven Creation sect. Before the owner of heavenly punishment arrives, even if I have to grind Jian Myohun's body to dust and reassemble it, I must raise his cultivation. I resolve to focus on enhancing Jian Myohun's cultivation as a short-term goal and head towards his cave residence. Right. Suddenly, I remember Hong Suryong calling me. She said she had something to test, so asked me to come to her cave residence. Well, I extend my hand beyond the plane, slicing through space. Then I traverse space to the front of Hong Suryong's cave residence. What brings you to call me here? Usually, she would come to my cave residence to share conversations or insights. It's rare for her to call me to her laboratory, so I'm curious. Come in. Hong Suryong's voice comes from inside the cave residence. Swoosh. The formation at the entrance of the cave residence deactivates, and a path opens for me to enter. As I step inside, the formation barrier activates behind me, isolating the interior and exterior of the cave residence again. What did you call me here for? It's when I enter deep into Hong Suryong's cave residence. What do you mean, what for? She stands between a cross-shaped frame and a plush bed. Her arms are crossed, and she speaks while looking at the cross frame. I heard you lost the lightning sacred body after practicing the hidden method of the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. I called you here to experiment on your body. Well, if you want to experiment. And one more thing. She shifts her gaze from the frame to the bed. There's also the purpose of dual cultivation. Excuse me. Which will you choose first, dual cultivation or being experimented on? Make your choice. // Discord https://dsc/gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 241, What is a Human 9. Translator, Translating Novice. Editor Z0rel. Yes. Don't pretend you didn't understand. I'm a bit flustered. While I can understand the experiment, Dual cultivation seems meaningless now that I've lost the lightning's sacred body. Why prepare for that as well? I want to see what happens when the hidden technique interacts with the conventional lightning path method. Ahem. Come on, make your choice. Curious, I ask. Does it really matter which one I do first? It does matter. Whichever we start with, there's a lot to examine, so the other will likely be pushed to another day. Oh, I see. Hurry up and choose. I'm itching to examine your body right now. Should I refuse? Honestly, my mind is cluttered right now, so I'm not really in the mood for either option. However, sensing my hesitance, Hong Suryong took the initiative. If you help me in either case, I'll give you a clue to reach the heavenly being stage. Eh? You're now at the grand perfection nascent soul stage, so it's about time you prepare for entering the heavenly being stage. I'm saying I'll share my enlightenment with you so you won't be confused when you break through. I could just ask my master. He, Grand Elder Jin might be able to explain enlightenment with words, but it's hard to directly experience it. However, if you help me today, you'll be able to embody the enlightenment needed to reach the heavenly being stage. At those words, I nod. Certainly, Hong Suryong's radical method could be helpful. Now that I've reached the grand perfection nascent soul stage, I've used up all my accumulated knowledge. From now on, I need to strive to reach the heavenly being stage along with guiding Jian Myung-hoon to do the same. Hence, this is a necessary process. Moreover, if I can physically experience the enlightenment for reaching the heavenly being stage, as she said, it will be a significant help. All right, I'll help you. I knew you would. Now, human experimentation or dual cultivation, choose. I glance back and forth between the frame and the bed. In that case, I open my mouth. The next day arrives. I feel quite stiff. I speak as I leave Hong Suryong's cave residence. Her face is flushed as she follows me out, smiling in the morning sunlight. It was very satisfying. Your body was worth examining. I also appreciate yesterday. I reflect on the enlightenment needed for reaching the heavenly being stage that Hong Suryong had let me experience the night before. Grand Elder Jin might have been able to explain it with words, but he couldn't have made you experience it like I did. Only I and the entire sect can make you experience it, so be thankful. Yes, it certainly was that kind of method. I nod. She let me experience the flow of her innate cultivation method, extinguishing lightning in her heavenly temple, and her flying sword techniques, teaching me through experience. Anyway, I somehow acquired the experience needed for reaching the heavenly being stage, albeit through a bit of an aggressive method. This is why it's good to be part of a major sect. This is an experience hard to come by while wandering the lower realms in seclusion. It feels like my mind is enlightened, similar to when I learned about understanding before breakthrough from my master in the Qingmun clan. I organize what I felt yesterday as I return to my cave residence. Madness is necessary. Observing my nascent soul, I noticed that unlike before, the yin spirit and yang spirit are not distinctly separated, but are naturally mixed with the 7 colors of the yin and yang and 5 elements, forming a 7-colored nascent soul sleeping within my golden core. Having reached the grand perfection nascent soul stage, I completed my nascent soul by fully integrating my consciousness with the map of the sun, moon, and 5 great mountains on the imperial throne. I remember what Hong Suryong said last night. Cultivators become emotionless as they progress in their cultivation. Do you know why? Because they take in the nature of heaven and earth into their bodies and become one with it. You must have felt it now that you've reached grand perfection, creating the map of the sun, moon, and 5 great mountains with the yin and yang and 5 elements of nature, fully merging it with your consciousness. Unknowingly, you will become increasingly emotionless and eventually lose all humanity, becoming no different from a plant, with your personality erased. I ponder about what Hong Suryong did to me last night as I massage my sore body. The heavenly being stage is also known as heaven and man unity. From this stage onwards, the microcosm you created within and the macrocosm outside truly connect, allowing one to wield the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. When the microcosm within opens up and comes into contact with the real nature of heaven and earth, what do you think will happen? Your insignificant personality will be swept away by the great nature, turning you into a vegetative state. Then how should one prevent this? Madness. Madness is necessary. Gather human madness to stand against heaven and earth. Protect yourself with madness. That's why from the heavenly being stage onwards, most cultivators lose their sanity. Everyone must be mad about at least one thing. Like this, like this, like this. I recall the madness Hang Suryong had shown. Last night both she and I, influenced by her, were engulfed in madness. Do I have to choose something to be mad about? Finding something to go mad over. That's the first step to entering heavenly being. What I desire the most is concentrating my madness on what I desire most the way. What I desire the most is, I leave the cave residence and head to find Jian Myeonhoon. I had to start his training first. Yes, Jian Myeonhoon's face twitches. From today onwards, I'll assist you in your cultivation practice. What in the world are you talking about, sir? He looks at Seo Yunhyan no. Jin Yunhyan, who has changed his name, and asks, My master is Grand Elder Jin Jin-chan. Yes, I've also received permission from your master. No, but... Listen, Jian Myeonhoon. Jin Yunhyan looks at Jian Myeonhoon. Supreme Sect Master Jin Byako has also given his permission. Soon, a formidable threat will target the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect. What? And the only one who can stop that threat is you, Jian Myeonhoon. What threat are you even? I mean, what is it, sir? I can't tell you because your level is too low. It could harm your mind. I'll tell you once you've entered the nascent soul stage. Crack. Veins pop on Jian Myeonhoon's forehead. This guy, he's blatantly disregarding me. Well, fine, no, I understand. Then how does sir intend to teach me? Jian Myeonhoon says, emitting his pure spiritual force. As you can see, I've already created 6 spiritual energy stars. It won't be long until I reach Chi building 4th constellation. Dual cultivation methods have been incredibly efficient so far, but is there a way to further efficiently elevate my cultivation? Yes. Oh, what kind of magnificent method is that? Responding to Jian Myeonhoon's sarcastic remark, Jin Yunhyan silently pulls out a club from his storage bag. This is it. Excuse me. Before Jian Myeonhoon can react, Jin Yunhyan swings the club at him. Whack. Area huh. Flung away by the club, Jian Myeonhoon screams while clutching his shoulder. But soon after, he removes his hand, looking puzzled at his shoulder. What? I got hit on the shoulder. It hurt when he was hit, but strangely, there are no wounds and the pain is gone. As he looks at Jin Yunhyan in confusion, Jin Yunhyan shows him the wooden club. Wung. Green spiritual energy emanates from the wooden club. It's the healing effect of wood spiritual energy. Wood corresponds to the Zhen in the 8 trigrams, symbolizing lightning. From now on, I'll chase you around with this club filled with wood spiritual energy and beat you relentlessly. And every time you get hit, I'll use my consciousness method to help you understand the lightning path methods through the insights of understanding before breakthrough. Having successfully mastered all the methods of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect, I'm fully qualified to teach you about the lightning path method. Of course, you can retaliate against me. The focus of this training is to fend off my attacks while embodying the knowledge of understanding before breakthrough that I hammer into your head with my clubbing. I will use only the strength of the Chi building stage to teach you, so you should be able to counterattack me sufficiently. Any questions? Elder, now that I think about it, I seem to have done a lot of wrong things on Earth. Please, please forgive me. I'm not doing this for such petty grudges. Whack. With that, Jin Yunhyan begins to beat Jian Myeonhoon. About a month into training Jian Myeonhoon. Thump, thump, thump. Yeah. I mercilessly beat Jian Myeonhoon, infusing his body with wood attribute spiritual energy everywhere. At the same time, I inject the intricacies of the lightning path method into his brain, converting the infused wood attribute energy into lightning attribute, forcing him to operate the method, and forcibly embodying the lightning path method throughout his body. His lightning path method is improving day by day, especially when I keep hammering Jian Myeonhoon, and his anger explodes. You son of a bitch. Crackle. Red lightning surges in all directions. He's grown again. Strangely, Jian Myeonhoon's cultivation reacts and grows faster whenever he gets angry. Does the heavenly golden thunder body grow faster with more anger? If there's a constitution designed for those with anger management issues, it would probably be the heavenly golden thunder body. Kagagugu. Before his red lightning bolt hits at me, I dodge it by reading his intent and move under Jeon Myohoon's left side to swing up my club. Whack! Alyek! Unable to dodge a single hit and continually getting beaten, his eyes roll back as he spews lightning. I swing my club, cutting through all the lightning bolts. Wung! The gang chi wrapped around the club crackles. The power of his lightning has grown stronger. The growth of his cultivation method is smooth. As I endlessly infuse him with wood attribute spiritual energy and the insights of understanding before breakthrough, Jeon Myohoon is visibly growing. To the extent that he entered Chi, building second constellation in just a month. However, something is strange. This guy, why on earth? Red lightning is being emitted. I delved into his weakness, guiding him with wood attribute spiritual energy towards the next stage of the 7 lightning quaking scripture. He is learning. But Jeon Myohoon, in a state of rage, only spews red lightning. Red, red, red. Why can't he advance to the next stage of the 7 lightning quaking scripture? No matter how much I beat him, Jeon Myohoon can't surpass the first stage of the 7 lightning quaking scripture, the red lightning quaking scripture. By now it's time to move to the next stage, the vermilion lightning. I also infused him with the intricacies of the vermilion lightning. Normally, he should have entered vermilion lightning as soon as he reached the second stage of chi building. However, Jeon Myohoon has already created 10 spiritual energy stars and still can't use vermilion lightning. It's a problem with understanding. It feels like he can't embody it at all. It's not like my teaching method is purely brutish, beating him senselessly. In the evenings, I healed Jeon Myohoon, explaining the intricacies of understanding before breakthrough he had been infused with throughout the day until he understood them. Jeon Myohoon understood the concepts, and his understanding of the method increased. However, even though his understanding increased, the embodiment of the method in his body is slow. He can't use vermilion lightning with his body, so he can't advance to it. Yes, I understand that far. It can be the case if he is a slow learner. But what puzzles me the most is this. But then, how is he continuing to advance beyond the second stage of chi building? The red lightning quaking scripture and the vermilion lightning are methods learned during the chi building stage. Among them, the red lightning quaking scripture is only learned during the first stage of chi building, and one must move to vermilion lightning to reach the peak of chi building. Yet Jeon Myohoon somehow continues to advance to higher stages with only the red lightning quaking scripture. Thump. Arg damn it. Kagagugu. Jeon Myohoon extends his hand to shoot lightning at me. Boing. I swing the club, slicing through the lightning. The power has increased again. Now, he's beginning to use attacks that are above his cultivation level. It's a late chi building stage attack. This guy, he's evolving the red lightning quaking scripture by being angry. I chuckle as I watch Jeon Myohoon enveloped in red lightning. He's supposed to advance to the next stage of the method, but since he can't, is he evolving the stage he's stuck in into a different method altogether? What kind of talent is this? Crack. The next moment, Jeon Myohoon transforms into red lightning itself and charges at me. I easily dodge before swinging my club towards the back of his head. Thump. Alec. Jeon Myohoon rolls away as he is knocked down. The red lightning quaking scripture he is operating disperses as well. But I can't help but laugh incredulously. The method has dispersed, but why does it feel like his spiritual power has increased? This, Seo Yunhyan, you damn bastard. Crazy, how does simply getting angry increase spiritual power? Shut up. Kagagugu. I smirk as I watch Jeon Myohoon speed up and swing my club at him. Good, keep growing. Under my guidance, Jeon Myohoon is growing at a pace incomparable to his previous life. Phew. Night fell. At night, Jeon Myohoon would take a short break and then return to his own cave residence to start cultivation with Jin Sohei. He'd cultivate until late into the night, sleep a little at dawn, and then start training again. This has been Jeon Myohoon's training schedule lately. Well, almost no sleep is not a problem after reaching the chi building stage, thanks to pure spiritual force. If it were the chi refining stage, I would have let him rest a bit more considering his physical condition, but since it's the chi building stage, he can withstand this intensity. I return to my cave residence and contemplate my nascent soul. To enter the heavenly being stage, I need madness. Then what madness do I need? What can I go mad over? It should have been an easy answer. The canvas of myriad forms and connections proved it. I could have gone mad over preserving the preciousness of the connections I had made. But after hearing Yang Sujin's words, I felt uncomfortable. The essence is freedom. Only beings that possess freedom or have the potential to acquire freedom are human, and thus have the right to enjoy the privileges of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Thus, only we Enders are humans, and all other beings in this world, including true immortals, are non-humans. Non-humans. Puppets moving as fate dictates. I remember Cohl's words. This world is a play under fate, and we are merely actors acting within this play. Why would you say acting by an actor is not emotion? Cohl's claim that emotions don't exist. And Yang Sujin's statement that even the heart tribe, who prove their emotions to the extreme to rise in strength, are slaves of fate. What's what? If emotions don't exist and the connections I've made are just part of a play dancing under fate, then what exactly have I been doing all this time? Recently, while training Jian Myohoon in the Azure Heaven Creation Sects method, there's a reason why I specifically chose to beat him with a club. The Azure Heaven Creation Sects method is sufficient with just 2 fists, but there is a reason I wielded a club. To review the basics of severing mountain swordsmanship with the club, to empty my mind and leap beyond treading heavens. It feels like I could counter Yang Sujin and Cohl's words if I do so. Damn it. It's as if I'm caught by a heart demon. Wung bung bung. I grasp the colorless glass sword and perform the severing mountain swordsmanship from beginning to end. Practicing martial arts seems to slightly alleviate my worries. Just when I stop repeating the severing mountain swordsmanship from the first move to the 26th move after who knows how many times. Non-human. Yang Sujin's voice seems to echo in my ears. I grit my teeth while looking at the colorless glass sword. Damn, stop spouting nonsense. My mind has been in turmoil since meeting Yang Sujin. If the connections existing in this world are nothing but puppets. I clench the colorless glass sword tightly, gazing at its transparent blade. Who have I loved? What exactly are the connections I've built? It's not enough to simply dismiss it as Yang Sujin's extreme ideology. Yang Sujin is someone who likely saw the truth of the world after reaching the pinnacle among true immortals. Cohl, presumed to have been an exceedingly high-level being, said something similar as well. So what exactly have I been doing? Yang Sujin's words and Cohl's voice circle in my mind. To reach the heavenly being stage, madness is necessary. It's a stage where one must go mad over something, lest the mind dissipate into the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. What I can go mad over are the connections I've built. Yet these great beings declare the connections I've made are nothing but lies. Then what should I do? Thud. I let the colorless glass sword dangle to the ground. I don't have the strength to swing the sword. Day by day, the heart demon gets worse. I stare out blankly at the moon outside my cave residence. What should I do? As I'm lost in my contemplation. Ziang. From somewhere far away, I feel something stimulating my consciousness. And at the same time, TSSSD. I feel my consciousness being pulled somewhere. This is. In a space tinged with colorful hues, I open my eyes. This place is someone's dream, and I immediately know whose dream it is. Wung. I operate the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon, aligning my consciousness with the wavelength of the dream. In this dream, due to my wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon, the surroundings that had been fluctuating stabilize into a calm space. I speak to the being who had called me. Finally, you've succeeded. From within the white light, someone walks towards this place, wearing a pink palace attire. Yona. It's Kim Yon. She has finally mastered the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon, and through the mysterious bizarre goo I had connected to her, summoned me into her dream. // Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 242, What is a Human 10. Translator, Translating Novice. Editor Z0rel. Its deputy. Kim Yon looks at me with slightly dazed eyes. Seeing that, I understand how she called me. She didn't call me by her own strength. She momentarily drew out the power of the wonderfully mysterious, innate heart canon, with her overflowing talent for consciousness methods. The level of her talent for consciousness methods is unbelievably high, so it's understandable how she achieved mastery. But she doesn't even realize she has mastered it. Well, that's okay. Whether intentionally or by chance, we can continue to connect in the future as long as she roughly remembers the method for it now that we've connected. Once. Yona Kim Yon. I approach her, who still looks dazed. I shake her by grabbing her shoulders. Ahad deputy, because I miss you, you even appear in my dreams. Thump. I press my forehead to hers and strongly operate the wonderfully mysterious, innate heart canon. Huh. She opens her eyes wide, as if feeling a sense of déjà vu. At the same time, the world of dreams shakes intensely. I'll guide her into a lucid dream so she doesn't wake up. I use the wonderfully mysterious, innate heart canon to lift her consciousness into a symbol. Instantly, the world of dreams shakes, and countless dream scenes flash by. Most of them are somewhat similar dreams. Scenes of she and I walking down a path inside a botanical garden. Inside the botanical garden, under a flowering tree, Kim Yon's own appearance of finally realizing her emotions is fully reflected. As those scenes disappear, Kim Yon's eyes finally clear. This dream. She seems not to believe I'm in front of her and tries to pinch her cheek. I pull my head away from her forehead and stop her hand. Wait, don't give yourself a big shock yet. It'd be okay if you knew how to operate the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon more, but right now, you might wake up from the dream immediately. Yes. She looks at me blankly and nods her head. It seems is still in something of a dreamlike state. Now, follow what I do and try to operate the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, Yona. Got it? Yes. As she operates the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, her eyes gradually become clearer. I guide her consciousness and help her to gain even more control over the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon. Kim Yon had mastered the wonderfully mysterious, innate heart canon on her own over the past 10 years, without even realizing it. So, teaching her a little through guiding consciousness will immediately allow her to achieve mastery in the wonderfully mysterious, innate heart canon. After some time, finally, having fully mastered the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, Kim Yon's eyes clear completely. Her eyes are wide as she fully grasps her dream. Whoosh whoosh. She waves her hand towards me. If I were just an accessory in her dream, the proper outcome guided by her consciousness, which had fully mastered the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, would have been for me to disperse. However, I too operate the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon and remain in the dream, resisting her consciousness. A deputy Yunhyan. Yes, it's me. The deputy. Kim Yon, with tears in her eyes, runs and hugs me. I hug her small frame tightly. The last 10 years, 10 years. Yes, I know, the Mad Lord is a lunatic. Who huck and gug. Kim Yon tearfully talks about everything that has happened over the years. I combine the operation of the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon and ultimate pinnacle to accelerate her dream, changing the time ratio between the dream and reality. We slowly share the conversations we couldn't have over the years. So this is the kind of world it is. Yes, right now, I'm in the human race territory. I can't come to get you right away, but I will definitely find you. Thank you. From now on, let's meet in our dreams every day. The wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon and the craziness felt from the Mad Lord's puppets in the wonderfully mysterious fortress, I'll resolve it for you. And I look at Kim Yon. From now on, I'll teach you something in our dreams. What is it? I'll borrow the dream for a moment. I operate the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, changing the dream's environment. Strange clusters of light fluctuate, and the space we are in instantly transforms into a huge training ground. From now on, in my last life and the life before that, I didn't have the chance to properly take care of her. So from now on, I'll be more attentive and care for her. I will teach you martial arts. I will teach Kim Yon martial arts, aiming to at least get her to beyond the path to heavens. If not, then at least to ultimate pinnacle. Just reaching ultimate pinnacle will allow her to accelerate her consciousness. The efficiency of consciousness acceleration is directly proportional to the size of the consciousness. Now, on the verge of reaching the heavenly being stage, I am confident that I can achieve a speed similar to the Kim Young-hoon, who had reached the early stage of Beyond the Path, with just the acceleration effect of ultimate pinnacle. Then, if Kim Young, who possesses a consciousness domain of the four-axis stage, reaches beyond the path to heaven. No, even if she just reaches ultimate pinnacle. At that moment, Kim Young will gain at least the minimum power required to escape from the Mad Lord. There is enough time. By operating the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon and ultimate pinnacle in Kim Young's dream, the dream's time ratio can be increased by about 3 times. It's a shame that this is the limit because it's not my dream, but it's still enough. Teaching her is no problem. No matter how trashy Kim Young's talent might be, could it be more trashy than me, who spent an entire lifetime to become a peak master? Martial arts. Yes, I will create martial arts that perfectly suits you. If she learns martial arts, we can find a way to utilize her vast consciousness to its fullest. Thus, I became a teacher to Jeon Myohoon in the morning and to Kim Young at night. ////. A year has passed. Good, that's it. Shut up. Boom. Red lightning sweeps over the place I was at. Gradually, it's becoming harder to overcome Jeon Myohoon with just the strength of the Chi building stage. In just 1 year, Jeon Myohoon has reached the 4th constellation of the Chi building stage. He has formed all 28 spiritual energy stars. Astonishingly, Jeon Myohoon has still not learned the vermilion lightning quaking scripture. But it's fascinating how he evolved the red lightning quaking scripture without vermilion lightning and reached the grand perfection of Chi building. Still, with this rate of growth, he can definitely reach the grand perfection of core formation within 10 to 20 years. Once he reaches the grand perfection of core formation, I will not hesitate to turn Jeon Myohoon into a pancake and throw him into the nascent soul stage, by any means necessary. Hurry up and grow, Jeon Myohoon. Boom! I dodged the red lightning Jeon Myohoon shot out with ease and charge into his arms, raising my club. Arg damn it. Get up. Fuck, Seo Yunhyan this bitch. Don't just curse with words. Hurry up and reach core formation, nascent soul, heavenly being, and beat me up. That's the best way. Raya. He's quite fierce and stubborn. No, maybe it's just because I've been too harsh on him. But anyway, Jeon Myohoon has learned to attack with venom in his heart. I effortlessly dodged Jeon Myohoon's attacks while continuously pouring on him, a barrage of beatings filled with the essence of understanding before breakthrough. Over the past year, Jeon Myohoon has grown significantly. Kim Young, too, has rapidly improved her martial arts under my tutelage over the year, reaching the level of a second-rate martial artist. Such an incredible speed. Of course, even though I had created the most optimized martial arts for Kim Young, the speed of her growth is still remarkably fast. Well, moving one's own body is indeed easier than manipulating tens of millions of puppets at once. It seems that her experience manipulating tens of millions of puppets in the wonderfully mysterious fortress is quite helpful. The problem is me. However, unlike the rapidly growing Kim Young and Jeon Myohoon, I still failed to break free from the heart demon. If Kim Young and Jeon Myohoon are considered humans, as Yang Sujin said, what about the others? What exactly are the connections I've made in this world? I would have just ignored it if Yang Sujin was just some worthless thug on the street. But it was the words of Yang Sujin, claimed to have reached the pinnacle of a true immortal. I can't get it out of my mind. What exactly is a human? It's when I'm teaching Jeon Myohoon with these thoughts. Whoosh! A familiar dull glow flies in from afar. The golden light of a flying escape technique. Hey, Elder Jin Yunhyan. It's Hun Wei. She lands beside me with a bold face and says, here's this month's dowry fund. Whoosh! She throws a storage scroll towards me. I silently receive the storage scroll. As expected, it contains the same amount of spirit stones as the last time I received it. Over the past year, Hun Wei has been visiting me once a month, pouring an enormous amount of spirit stones on me under the guise of a dowry fund. Although it's definitely problematic for her to enter the territory of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sects so often and so freely, Jin Byako, after receiving the spirit stones from Hun Wei, seemed uncomfortable but eventually permitted her passage. Now she's even openly bringing her own people. I see someone following Hun Wei from about 30 miles away. He seems to be attempting to hide, but the intent he emits is clearly visible, making it impossible for him to escape my notice. Is he a bodyguard? I concentrate my consciousness on the person following Hun Wei while looking at her. You still have no intention of marrying me. I am sorry, but I still do not. It's regrettable. Then, would you at least form a dual cultivation partnership with me? Not as Tao companions, but just exchanging energies as dual cultivation partners would really be appreciated. I ask her while looking at her. 100 billion mid-grade spirit stones would be enough for Lady Hun to break through to the late heavenly being stage through breakthrough before understanding. I really don't understand why you'd want to form a dual cultivation partnership with someone like me. Didn't I say it was love at first sight? I cool my head while reading Hun Wei's intent. At the same time, I discover that she is manipulating the spiritual energy of heaven and earth subtly while conversing with me, attempting to do something behind the scenes. She's subtly laying a formation in the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. More specifically, she is slightly moving the surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy according to her mood to distract me, while the guard following her from 30 li away sneakily messes with the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. She might have thought I wouldn't notice her moving the heaven and earth spiritual energy, but having delved to the extremes in the art of formations under the tutelage of Qing Mun Ryong, it's obvious to me. It's a formation that pressures earth, attributes spiritual energy in one go. Although I haven't informed anyone, I have secretly laid circuits of the Mad Lord throughout the golden divine heavenly thunder sect without anyone's knowledge. It might have been an absurd sense of paranoia, but I installed the circuits just in case Seo Hrial or perhaps a clone of Y Ryongxian is spying on me, so I never let my guard down. Through those circuits, the formation she is laying is transmitted to my mind. The energy of the formation flows in perfect opposition to the energy of the method flowing through Hun Wei's body. In case of emergency, activating this formation will allow me to perfectly suppress her. Why would she come into the golden divine heavenly thunder sect and lay a formation that can suppress herself? I push Jian Myonghun, who is charging at me, away and approach her with a smile. Thank you for your words. However, I have a proper dual cultivation partner, and casually forming a dual cultivation partnership with another would be a betrayal to her. Tab tab. I approach Hun Wei amiably, tapping her shoulder. Without her noticing, I plant the mysterious bizarre goo in her, using the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts to hide its presence. I don't know what she's plotting, but I should keep an eye on her for now. \\\\\asterisk. Discord https://dsc.gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 243, What is a Human 11. Translator, Translating Novice. Editor Z0rel. It seems like she's resorting to some tricks, since I kept resisting her attempts to win me over. But the tricks she's playing are really cute compared to the ones Seo Hrial had used. Therefore, I'm sorry, Lady Hun, but I wish we could stop discussing the matter of marriage. You think I'll give up? I'll keep coming to you until you accept me. Hun Wei leaves with a sullen expression, seemingly displeased, and flies away using the flying escape technique. What a ludicrous formation. It's a formation that induces the dragon vein. If I hadn't laid the circuits of the Mad Lord everywhere, hadn't learned the Silica Earth Great Wall practice sensitive to the flow of dragon veins, and hadn't learned about formations from Qing Mun Ryong, I would not have noticed it. If activated properly, it's a formation that can perfectly suppress a heavenly being cultivator, especially so for an earth attribute heavenly being cultivator. It can even instantly reduce them to mere mortals. Furthermore, the flow of this formation is literally created to restrict Hun Wei herself. Why would she set up such a formation? I decide to think from her perspective. She wants to win me over, so she keeps giving me spirit stones to show her affection and lets others know about it. At the same time, she lays a formation that can suppress herself in an emergency. Why would she create such a formation? Obviously, it's made to be used. Who is it intended for? From her point of view, I am a genius in the lightning path method. There's no reason for her to specifically lay a formation that suppresses earth attributes to subdue me. It's likely to suppress someone from her own Pinglai Palace. It's a formation that perfectly counteracts the method she practiced. Then why would she lay such a formation here? If she lures someone from Pinglai Palace here and uses the formation, the person from Pinglai Palace will instantly become unable to resist. Is she planning to suppress a faction within Pinglai Palace that opposes her and shift the blame to the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect? No, she truly wants to have me. There's no love, but the desire is real. Then the purpose of that formation is, perhaps it's intended for use on herself. She waits for a moment when we are alone. Then she activates the formation to incapacitate herself. If at the right moment, another person from Pinglai Place witnesses the scene, they might misunderstand that I am attempting something on her. If that happens, the reputation of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect will hit rock bottom for attempting something on the daughter of an integration stage grand cultivator, and I might be forced to marry her as an apology. It's a pretty cunning move. But this is just one trap, and there might be 2 or 3 more layers of traps behind it. Perhaps this formation is just a test to gauge my abilities. Well, from here on, I'll have to use the mysterious bizarre goo. I immediately start using the mysterious bizarre goo to monitor her. ////. Is the aphrodisiac ready? A cold voice asks. Yes, master. We've successfully obtained a top-grade aphrodisiac produced by the Yin Soul Ghost sect. Even a late-stage heavenly being cultivator will immediately lose their senses upon inhaling it. A soul-echoing sound resonates. If it's used on someone at the grand perfection nascent soul, they'd lose their senses and rush in. Of course, between next month and the month after, I'll create an opportunity to be alone with Jin Yun Hyan. Can you hit him from a distance with a dart filled with the aphrodisiac? It's entirely possible. What is the extent of his consciousness domain? 20 li is the range of his consciousness. A grand perfection nascent soul stage with the consciousness domain of an early to mid-heavenly being stage. Still, I can accurately hit the target from 50 li away, so please don't worry. Excellent, there must be no mistakes. When he tries to pounce on me, you must appear at the scene with the record. How could there be any doubt? Once it's perceived that he attempted to violate the bloodline of a grand cultivator, control will be mine. I will definitely obtain the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. ///. Is that all? I chuckle wryly while monitoring her and her guard through the mysterious bizarre goo. If it's COH real, there would be a 100% chance there's something more behind this formation. But seeing her only play such conspicuous tricks before leaving, it almost seems cute. No, it's because it's me that I saw through the tricks. A normal cultivator at the grand perfection nascent soul stage probably couldn't have. She did her best to play her scheme. But it seems my standards have become too high. Well, then I suppose I should just let such tricks slide. It's while I'm pondering how to counter her scheme. Boom! You're still far from. Plak. Jian Myohun's fist, along with lightning, pierces through my guard and strikes my face. Finally, I touch my cheek in disbelief. How did you do it? There's no way this guy should have been able to reach me with his level. Even against Jin Bayako or Azure Tiger, Saint without their Dharma treasures, I'm confident I can win fairly easily. Unless there's a miracle, Jian Myohun can absolutely not reach me. But he did. How? Rather than feeling annoyed, I look at Jian Myohun with wonder. That technique just now wasn't your usual attack, was it? Who did you learn it from? The attack that had just caught me off guard felt more like the essence of martial arts rather than a cultivation method. Was it Hong Suryong? Jian Myohun, pulling up red lightning smirks. Do you think a man would be so loose-lipped? I'm not telling you, you bastard. Oh, he's also growing. Feeling intrigued, I lift my club. And a moment later, I'll tell you. Didn't you say something about men not being loose-lipped? I meant women, damn it. I click my tongue and ask. So who is it? It's Hong Suryong, right? The only person who can teach something resembling martial arts in the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect is Hong Suryong. It's almost certainly her. Recently, Hong Suryong and I did share some insights on martial arts. Has she already grown to the point of teaching Jian Myohun something like this in the meantime? It's when I'm puzzled. Hong Fan. I learned it from Hong Fan. He kindly told me about your weaknesses and habits and how to exploit them to find openings. What? I'm momentarily dumbfounded and ask again. You learned that move just now from Hong Fan. Yes. I I never taught Hong Fan anything like martial arts. Of course, I did practice martial arts a lot in front of Hong Fan. And Jian Myohoon isn't lying. So, Hong Fan just watched me practice martial arts and understood the essence of martial arts enough to teach it to Jian Myohoon. What exactly is this centipede? To defeat you, I even knelt before a bug. I may be beaten like a dog now, but I definitely will surpass you. Crackle. Jian Myohoon lying beneath me amidst red lightning. Nah. I lift my foot off Jian Myohoon. Realizing something, I burst into laughter. What have you lost at Seo Yunhyan? Haha, thank you Jian Myohoon. What? I feel a tickling in my chest. It feels as if the demons plaguing my mind are instantly cleared away. Even Jian Myohoon found something to learn from Hong Fan. Then, even if, as Yang Sujin said, the entire world is filled with non-humans, worse than bugs. Even if the connections I've made are nothing but trash. They have taught me. Even if it's merely a speck of dust, there's something to learn from it. Truly thank you. I open my mouth and pull out the colorless glass sword. If you're thankful, why are you pulling out a sword? Your actions have given me sudden enlightenment. What does it matter if it's human or non-human? Even if all those feelings are just parts of a scripted plot we're following. I have become my own person within that script, and I have found meaning within it. If we can exchange meanings, isn't that what being human is about? Silently, I start to perform a sword dance. It's not enough. This sword dance will never allow me to advance to the next stage. The sudden enlightenment is sufficient, but the gradual cultivation is lacking. However, that also means, if I only fill up the gradual cultivation, I can reach above. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Immersed in a trance, I recall Jang Ik's words. I will tell you how to reach the third stage of manifestation. The power of the heart tribe begins by imposing one's heart, one's ideal self, upon the world. My ideal of fighting spirit is precision and destruction taken to the extreme. By imposing that power of destruction on the world, I cross the 3 stages. What is the ideal of your martial arts? Imposing one's ideal upon the world. At first, I didn't understand what that meant. Now I can finally grasp it. Wait a minute, Seo Yunhyan, what are you doing? Jian Myohoon hastily flees upon sensing the aura emanating from me. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Kurarung. Even though I'm supposed to have lost the lightning path methods, lightning begins to rumble around me. Imposing one's ideal upon the world. It means engraving the pinnacle that my martial arts can reach into the laws of the world. Then, what is the pinnacle of my martial arts? How can I advance to the next stage? What is the meaning of my martial arts? It means nothing, because meaning is something one assigns. Only now do I finally understand. It's not only me who has a heart. My martial arts have a heart and meaning as well. The meaning I have upheld all my life is embedded in my martial arts. Awakening the meaning one has pursued all their life. This is the stage beyond treading heavens. I'm starting to enter. Boom! I swing the colorless glass sword. Without even drawing the formless sword, an enormous thunderclap follows, and a small mountain range far away is cleanly sliced through. An unbelievable force shakes the mountains and rivers, sending a massive rumble through the world. The clouds are torn asunder, and heavenly beings stage grand elders practicing in the distance hastily look around. What's going on here? An attack? No, someone seems to be practicing lightning path methods. No, it's heavenly tribulation, the aura of heavenly tribulation. The overwhelming power displayed even while holding back to the level of the chi refining stage. Kurarung. The resounding thunder around me gradually subsides. It's lacking. I didn't reach the next stage. But I'm no longer lacking in enlightenment. What's needed is effort and more effort. The confidence to impose one's will upon the world. In this life, I might not ascend to the heavenly being stage. But it's clear. I'm truly just one step away from the stage beyond treading heavens. Translator notes, sudden enlightenment and gradual cultivation are Buddhist terms. \\\\asterisk. Discord https://dsc.gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 244, Multifaceted 1. Translator, Translating Novice. Editor Z0 Rel. Wowung. Numerous gazes suddenly turned in this direction. Among them, the most noticeable is the administrator of Thunder Spirit Island. It's the gaze sent by the clone of Y Ryoncian. Wowung. As Y Ryoncian's clone focuses its spell and concentrates its gaze above, the sky suddenly starts to tint with a faint green hue. I do not hide and directly meet Y Ryoncian's gaze. Kagagugu. The sky suddenly vibrates, and along with the heaven and earth spiritual energy, the voice of Y Ryoncian resonates. Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sects Elder Jin Yun Hyan, can you tell me what just happened? Y Ryoncian's will is heard from the sky. I shamelessly respond with a thick face. I was practicing a cultivation method, but for what reason does the administrator of Thunder Spirit Island take interest in me, a mere nascent soul stage elder? The aura of heavenly tribulation was sensed, making me wonder if someone was attempting a breakthrough in their cultivation level. If Elder Jin rises in cultivation again, this time to become a heavenly being stage grand elder, it would be necessary to congratulate you once more. Hahaha, I'm grateful for your kind view. However, the energy I felt just now was indeed very similar to that of heavenly tribulation. Is it really just a phenomenon that occurred during the practice of a cultivation method? To my knowledge, only the heart tribe can induce energy similar to a heavenly tribulation during their practice. That is a misunderstanding. Our Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect studies and delves into understanding and controlling lightning and thunder, mainly focusing on heavenly tribulation. Perhaps the result similar to a heavenly tribulation was just a coincidence while delving into the lightning path method. Really, it was just the lightning path method that gave such a similar feeling to a heavenly tribulation. Is it that strange to try to manifest the power of heavenly lightning through the lightning path method? It's then that a hint of suspicion lingers in Y Ryoncian's gaze. Kirarung. The sky roars with golden lightning, and Jin Bayako flies up to the sky towards Y Ryoncian's gaze and shouts, "Greetings to the administrator, but what is the administrator doing right now?" I was observing the movements of Elder Jin Yun Hyan of your sect. Did Elder Jin do something wrong? Did he learn some vicious devilish arts that are forbidden in Thunder Spirit Island? That is not the case. Then, why is the administrator peering into the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect's internal affairs and digging into the secrets of our sect's lightning path method without restraint? Jin Bayako's words seem to make Y Ryoncian hesitate for a moment. Regardless of the reason, Y Ryoncian is clearly scrutinizing the interior of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, as well as practically interrogating one of the elders about his cultivation method. Our Elder Jin Yun Hyan's method is peculiar even compared to other methods of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, which might have given you an unusual feeling. This matter is a secret of our sect, so please withdraw. I understand, I was overreacting. After finishing his words, Y Ryoncian withdraws his spell. The sky, which had been filled with Y Ryoncian's gaze, once again returns to its original color as his will dissipates, and the sky that had been dyed green is restored. Jin Bayako, who had stood in the sky blocking the will of Y Ryoncian, comes down to where I am. Are you all right, Jin Yun Hyan? No, rather than that. Kagagugu. As Jin Bayako clenches his fist, thunderclouds form in the sky, blocking observation from beyond the sky. A prohibition is set up, preventing the surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy from being monitored. I felt a powerful force of heavenly tribulation. It's clear you should have lost all attributes of the lightning path method due to the extinguishing divine tribulating heavens technique. Not knowing exactly how to explain, I paused for a moment before attempting an explanation. I was trying a few things to revive the attributes of the lightning path method and coincidentally managed to manifest the power of heavenly lightning. What? Jin Bayako's eyes widen at my words. Is that even possible? Well, it just happened. He stands dumbfounded for a moment before beginning to laugh heartily. It wasn't that the founding ancestor chose you because you have a lightning sacred body, but rather, he gave his arrangement because it was you. Jin Bayako pats my shoulder as if to commend me. I flinch but don't show it. Indeed, you are the future of our sect. Lately, you've hardly had any time to practice because you've been looking after Jeon Myohoon, right? Tusk, that Jeon Myohoon still, since he also possesses the heavenly golden thunder body, he seems to be growing quickly. Once he reaches the nascent soul stage, you'll also have a comfortable environment to challenge the heavenly being stage. How could I ascend to the heavenly being stage first? Since we joined the golden divine heavenly thunder sect on the same day, it seems only right to ascend to the heavenly being stage on the same day as well. What are you saying? You should ascend to the heavenly being stage as soon as possible, even if you don't have time to ascend to the heavenly being stage because you're looking after Jeon Myung-hoon. Everyone knows that if you just had a bit more time, you'd reach it. Given time, it's true that I would ascend. I awkwardly smile at Jin Byako's enormous wall of misunderstanding. Sparing time to help a fellow disciple is never a waste. Even if my rise to the heavenly being stage is delayed, I will do my best to help Jeon Myung-hoon improve his cultivation. You? Jin Byako looks at me with eyes full of pride. After expressing my gratitude to Jin Byako, I go search for the escaped Jeon Myung-hoon. After the day's events, I return to my cave residence and call for the guy who should be practicing nearby before contacting Kim Yeon. Hong Fan, come here for a moment. Swish. Despite not calling out loudly, a dark centipede suddenly appears in front of me. Did you summon me, master? Yes, I heard from Jeon Myung-hoon today. You taught him, didn't you? I worry if I've inadvertently taught Jeon Myung-hoon some bad habits with my modest skills. No, anyway, he's not primarily focused on martial arts. More importantly, at one moment his movement reached me. Jeon Myung-hoon said he received your guidance. What kind of guidance did you give him? Hong Fan lowers his head and says to me, I may have overstepped. I advised him that if he wishes to reach Master during a confrontation to wait until Master is deep in thought after finishing the conversation. By drawing Master's attention with the lightning path method when Master is engrossed in thought, and then striking towards the most seemingly impregnable part, it might be possible to reach Master. Jeon Myung-hoon's movement had a martial element, but it was Hong Fan who had completely grasped my habits and routines to teach him the gaps. That alone wouldn't have been enough for Jeon Myung-hoon to reach me. His movement had the characteristics of a stepping technique for a moment. Did you also teach him that stepping technique? I slightly adapted the stepping technique you use, master, to suit Sir Jeon Myung-hoon. What? That was my mountain lord soaring steps. I'm dumbfounded, recalling the stepping technique that was completely different from what I use. He modified the movement technique I used to teach Jeon Myung-hoon, but it transformed so much that I couldn't recognize it. If I have displeased you, I sincerely apologize. From now on, I will not recklessly share Master's martial arts with others and will keep them to myself. No, it's not that, but Hong Fan you. I look at Hong Fan and feel anew how incredible he is. In about 500 years, I might be calling this guy my master. Do you have any interest in learning martial arts? If Hong Fan also has talent in martial arts, not teaching him will be a tremendous waste of talent. Hong Fan gladly nods. I would be honored to learn from Master and will gratefully do so. Well, it's an honor for me to teach a genius like you. A genius? I am no genius. Your words just now are deceiving to countless dullards. Haha, now, what martial art should I teach you? I ponder over what martial arts would be suitable for Hong Fan. Then it strikes me that there is no need to ponder. Among the martial arts I had developed in the past, there is one that would be the best fit for him. Yes, that would be the best fit for Hong Fan. I take out a few hidden weapons from my storage scroll. The martial art you will learn is called the fighting monster hidden weapon technique. As a centipede demon beast, Hong Fan is a master at producing and dispersing poison, and there is no martial art more suitable to be used with poison than the fighting monster hidden weapon technique. From then on, I spend the days hitting Jeon Myung-hoon with a stick while practicing my severing mountain swordsmanship, teaching Hong Fan the fighting monster hidden weapon technique in the evening, and teaching Kim Yeon martial arts at night. Like so, about 2 months pass. Ways. This day is unusually cloudy, with dark clouds covering the sky and strong winds swirling around. It's cold. I'm outside the territory of the golden divine, heavenly thunder sect. When will she arrive? A few days ago, Hun Wei contacted me to meet alone, and according to her message, I have been waiting here for a while. Today might be the day to have a decisive discussion with her. She also seemed to plan to make me her slave through a decisive meeting, making today the day of a final confrontation. After a while, Hun Wei appears in the distance, flying towards me with her flying escape technique, and lands in front of me. It's been a while, so have you still not changed your mind? She asks, feigning a hearty laugh and crossing her arms. I smile wryly in reply. I apologize, but no matter what you say, I am content with my current state. Hem? If you want all the spirit stones you've given me so far, I will return them. It would be good if Cultivator Hun could gradually let go of her intentions. There's no need to return them. They were given for you to use, but really you won't marry me. Yes. Not even a dual cultivation partnership. That's right. Do I lack appeal as a woman? Cultivator Hun is beautiful, however. That's when I notice. She is secretly forming hand seals behind her back. Enough, let's end this. Even if you don't accept my love, you're just. The next moment, she smirks and completes her hand seals, making me seem like a villain by forcing you into submission. With that, Hun Wei shouts while still forming her hand seals. Abandoning mountain formation, activate. Met, 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 and nothing happens. Why isn't it activating? Seeing her confused, I smirk. You plan to use the activation of the formation as a signal to shoot a tranquilizing dart from afar, but it seems you're flustered because it got tangled up from the start. Hearing that, her face stiffens. How did you? She emits killing intent. I don't know how you found out, but you're making things difficult. Making things difficult? I don't think so. What, huh? The next moment, against her will, she raises one arm and sends a signal to someone far away preparing the tranquilizing dart, a gesture that means, wait a moment among the signals exchanged with her servant. What is this? What have you done to me? She rolls her feet, raising dirt walls in all directions. Instantly, a house made of her spiritual energy surrounds us. Now, shall we have a more comfortable conversation? You. At the same time, the confident smile vanishes from Hun Wei's face, leaving only a chilly expression. What have you done to me? // Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 245, Multifaceted 2. Please sit down, it's not as serious as you think. I half pull out the mysterious bizarre goo from her body to show her. Since it isn't fully extracted, her actions are still restricted. I merely monitored Cultivator Hun for about 2 months with my technique. You've got guts. You dare to parasite your spell onto me, the daughter of a grand cultivator at the integration stage, and monitor me for 2 months. Do you think you can stay safe? That's not much of a threat. I smirk in reply. After all, Cultivator Hun's siblings and others in Pinglai Palace have been sticking tracking and monitoring spells all over the Cultivator Hun's body, haven't they? But some of them you genuinely didn't notice, but a few you intentionally ignored, didn't you? Adding one more piece of my spell shouldn't cause such an overreaction, considering you usually walk around with those things attached. She continues to maintain an expressionless face, looking at me with a cold gaze. However, reading her intent, I can tell she is quite flustered. First of all, I've monitored Cultivator Hun for 2 months with my spell, and I've also separately recorded a few important scenes. As I slightly manipulate the mysterious bizarre goo, it squirms and projects an image into the air. It's the scene of her plotting with her servant to put me in a difficult situation. Since Cultivator Hun is the one who started by trying to do this to me, wouldn't it be better for us to have no hard feelings towards each other? What do you want? She asks me with a cold expression. I smile gently. I should be asking you, what does Cultivator Hun want? What do you hope to gain by obtaining me? To that she answers with a stiff face. Release this spell and I'll tell you. Sure. Upon hearing her words, I extract the mysterious bizarre goo from her body. Suspicious of how easily I removed it, Hun Wei still refrains from rash actions. I really did release it though. Of course, I want to have a somewhat sincere conversation now, so I truly did remove the mysterious bizarre goo. Now that I've kept my promise, please tell me, why did Cultivator Hun approach the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect? To gain the favor of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. I am a bit puzzled as I observe her intent. It isn't a lie. The sect's favor was your goal. Exactly. The ultimate goal was to become a beloved person of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect through close exchanges and relationships with this sect. That's why I attempted to obtain you, who will eventually become the leader of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. It's odd. Not to gain control of the golden divine heavenly thunder sect, but to be loved was her goal. Surprisingly, she speaks the truth. Why exactly? I ask, slightly perplexed. Why did you seek the love of the sect? May I ask a question now? Yes, go ahead. What do you want from me? What's your reason for doing this to me? Why did I do this? You were the one who sent your attendant to lay a strange formation on the sect first. What? You managed to uncover actions taken beyond the reach of your consciousness. I'm the future sect leader of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. I have eyes everywhere. I see, I was the one who was rude first. Her attitude softens slightly as I ask a question. It seems her plan wasn't some sinister scheme to deal with the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect itself after all. What do you hope to gain by obtaining a relationship with the sect? Well, might as well just tell you since it came to this. Hun Wei sighs. I was trying to obtain the position of Vice Palace Master of Pinglai Palace. The Vice Palace Master. Yes, aside from my father, it's the highest position in Pinglai Palace. Currently, all 17 of us siblings are competing for that position. What does that have to do with the sect? It's very much related. All of us siblings are born from different concubines, and our father doesn't have an official wife yet. Do you know why? Following her explanation, I finally understand why she sought the favor of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. The woman my father truly loved and wanted to make his official wife was originally from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. However, she was devoured during a war 40,000 years ago by a two-headed ancient beast that had participated in the war. Since then, my father lived a very desolate life. The father I've seen was always strict, stern, and cruel. But after hearing that your Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect collectively ascended and pushed back the ancient beast behind Thunder Cloud Pavilion, becoming the leading sect of Thunder Spirit Island, my father, for the first time in 40,000 years, was overjoyed. He had never shown such a humane side before. Seeing that, I immediately realized that gaining the love of your Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect is the opportunity to become my father's closest confidant. This is something I'm personally curious about. I ask out of curiosity. Why didn't Grand Cultivator Hun seek revenge against the ancient monster that ate his beloved? I seem to know who that ancient monster is. According to the ancient documents of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, it was Yon Wei who had betrayed and devoured her fellow sect members 40,000 years ago. Then why had Yon Wei, who ate the Grand Cultivator's beloved, been able to live until recently in Thunder Cloud Peak? I don't know the details. I've only heard that the event 40,000 years ago involved complicated interests and relationships between forces and sects. I see. Anyway, she looks at me and asks, having heard all this, do you still have no intention of marrying me? I don't love you. I've never been infatuated with you. I admit that. But if you marry me, you can truly become my father's direct disciple. My father would be overjoyed to have his child connected to the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect and would naturally accept you as a direct disciple. Moreover, I could receive my father's favor and rise to the position of Vice Palace Master of Pinglai Palace. But my father may be the Palace Master of Pinglai Palace, but he doesn't involve himself much in its management. In other words, the Vice Palace Master is the real head of Pinglai Palace. The Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect and Pinglai Palace could become one and stand tall among the human race. I cannot marry you. Upon hearing my words, Hun Wei shows a visibly disappointed expression. However, but I propose something that will benefit both her and the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. Kagagugu. Hun Wei breaks the dirt house surrounding us and looks at me. Well, it's not a bad deal. We can help each other. Yes, perhaps not using marriage as a bargaining chip could be more beneficial for both sides. However, she looks at me. Promises must be kept. You must not join hands with my other siblings in Pinglai Palace. Would there be any doubt? Good, then I'll leave now and not come looking for you anymore. Whoosh. Hun Wei, having made a secret agreement with me, flies away with a satisfied expression towards where her servant is waiting. That settles it. Things went better than expected with her. While there might be a few incidents arising from this arrangement in the future, they will likely be minor. Now, I can truly focus on my cultivation without worrying about other nuisances. I look up at the sky content. Thus, another decade passes. Tsu-tsu-tsut. In Kim Yone's dream, I look at her, who has a bright smile as she waits for me. You seem to be in a good mood recently. He isn't that natural. After all, considering her situation is confined to a factory, with only a mad old man who talks to his puppet as company, being able to converse with me inside her dream must be a relief. It would be strange if she isn't in a good mood. Snap! With a flick of my finger, the intricacies of my wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon and the ultimate pinnacle synchronize, extending the time scale of her dream. Before we start today's training, shall we review what we learned yesterday? Yes. Whoosh. Perhaps due to being in a dream, pink fans appear in her hands the moment Kim Yong imagines it. Holding the two fans, she begins to dance a fan dance. This is not just a simple dance but a martial art in itself. The Mad Lord's Herres parallel wing spear transformed into the Twin Immortals dance and was passed down. I combined the Twin Immortals dance with the parallel wing spear, adding a few techniques from my Severing Mountain swordsmanship to create a martial art perfectly suited for Kim Yong. The paired wing dance is that martial art. Consisting of a total of 8 forms, Kim Yong's paired wing dance somewhat resembles the movements of the Twin Immortals dance. At the same time, it is designed to completely nullify the offensive and defensive characteristics of the parallel wing spear in case of emergency, allowing it to render it powerless. This martial art is created for Kim Yong to suppress her if she ever escapes from the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Yona, circulate your energy faster when you step in. I point out the areas where her paired wing dance is lacking as I watch her perform. Besides suppressing her, my focus on the paired wing dance was on the continuous circulation of power. By incorporating the principle of endless mountains beyond mountains from the Severing Mountain swordsmanship, performing from the first to the 8th form will seamlessly lead back from the 8th form to the first form again, allowing the dance to continue endlessly. Just as one can endlessly execute sword techniques with endless mountains beyond mountains as long as the body can withstand the rebound, the paired wing dance can also continue endlessly, as long as one's energy does not deplete. However, unlike endless mountains beyond mountains which forcefully suppresses the rebound within the body, the paired wing dance allows for the continuation of the martial art by consuming more energy, which has its pros and cons. Of course, if executed correctly, the advantages are clear. What's crucial in the paired wing dance isn't the forms but the inner method. I named this internal energy method as the intertwined branches heart method, implying that the forms and internal energy are interconnected like branches touching each other. When executing the forms, internal energy is consumed, and simultaneously, a little bit of energy is gathered. When executing the paired wing dance and intertwined branches heart method simultaneously in a prolonged battle, cycling through the 8 forms of the paired wing dance increases the rate of energy accumulating in the intertwined branches heart method with each cycle. Once the critical point is surpassed while using the paired wing dance, theoretically, the internal energy consumed becomes less than the energy gathered by the intertwined branches heart method, allowing one to wield infinite power with this martial art. In theory, anyway. To cross that critical point, Kim Yong would have to perform the paired wing dance over 7 billion times in the same spot. So it is a martial art with infinite potential, but only in theory. Even after crossing such a threshold, in reality, it would only be as powerful as a core formation level attack. If it was Young Hoon Hyung Nim, he would have created a more practical and efficient martial art than this inefficient and foolish one. Of course, Kim Yong, having reached the chi building stage and using pure spiritual force flowing within her, would never lack the internal energy to perform the paired wing dance. This is merely for suppressing her, in an emergency, as well as helping Yon realize her intent and progress beyond the 5 energies converging to the origin and ultimate pinnacle. Beyond that, it has no particular significance. I guide Kim Yon in her martial arts, pointing out her minor flaws. Good job, Yona. Hee. Recently, her skills have improved rapidly, reaching the level of an early first-rate martial artist. Perhaps after another 10 years of training, she will reach late first-rate and be on the verge of becoming a peak expert. From the pinnacle onwards, she'll be able to perceive intent, and her wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon will be a great help. The wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon will greatly assist her in 3 flowers gather at the summit and 5 energies converging to the origin. Although the ultimate pinnacle is a bit concerning, There won't be any worry about beyond the path to heavens once she reaches the extreme of ultimate pinnacle. She will attain the vision of beyond the path once she reaches the extreme of the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon. Through that vision and the martial arts she has learned, she will be able to reach beyond the path to heavens even faster. Once Yon surpasses the pinnacle, given her innate talent in consciousness, it'll be easier for her from there. In fact, teaching the movements was only challenging in the beginning, which is better for me. I quietly smile as I watch her happily perform the paired wing dance. It's only been 20 years. When I first ascended to the bright cold realm, I was captured by the Mad Lord. Back then, Kim Yon's face was always filled with fear and pain. During the 15th cycle, I was unable to contact her due to her intense conflict with Cohreal, leading to her mental breakdown. Only now could I see Kim Yon smiling, even if just in her dreams. I'm glad I can comfort you, even if it's only through dreams. Let's end here for today. Is it over already? Yes. I'll wait for you tomorrow. Initially afraid of parting from me, she has gradually grown stronger over time. Now she is looking forward to tomorrow. A stark contrast to the Kim Yon of the past, who was always tormented by the Mad Lord. As. I wake up from the dream. Thump thump. I feel a tickling sensation rise from deep within my chest. Over the past 10 years, teaching Kim Yon, Jian Myohoon, and Hong Fan. Watching them grow, I gradually began to feel something. Non-human. Teaching them, I thought again about the non-human theory Yang Sujin mentioned. I had overcome the mental barrier created by Yang Sujin's words 10 years ago and realized a clear direction beyond treading heavens. However, I also realized I haven't completely eliminated the mental barrier. Being a slave to fate makes one non-human, but if I assign meaning, then it has meaning. That is my realization. Over the past 10 years, I understood that I need to shatter the notion of being a slave to fate. Non-human, no, this isn't just about non-humans. I remember dancing hand in hand with Buck Hyungish Wa. I remember receiving lessons from Chingmun Ryo. I remember when Azure Tiger Saint died protecting us. Was that all just a script for puppets? No. Fundamentally, I need something to break free from Yang Sujin's logic. But how can one escape fate? Fate is absolute. Nothing can escape fate. If escaping fate is possible, it would require being on the level of a creator god. How can one deny fate that exists at the end of the heavens? As I ponder these thoughts, crackle, boom, a waterfall of red lightning pours onto me as I am quietly practicing in my cave residence. I quickly draw my club and split the waterfall of lightning in half. The next moment, Jian Myohoon rushes at me with the speed of lightning. Simultaneously, I penetrate his angle with my club and strike him dozens of times. Ahi, Kurarung. Jian Myohoon, wrapped in red lightning, retreats. But the next moment, I rush in front of Jian Myohoon and raise my club towards his head. And then, boom, I smash his head completely. His brain matter scatters in all directions. Damn. With a sizzle, red lightning crackles from where his head should be, and Jian Myohoon's head begins to regrow. Indeed, over the past 10 years, Jian Myohoon has become a core formation cultivator. Daisu Yunhyan. Kurarung. Thunder roars as Jian Myohoon soars into the sky and hurls lightning at me. Now, instead of just me beating Jian Myohoon, he launches proactive attacks against me. Flash. A pillar of red lightning strikes me down. Injecting a handful of sword gang into my stick, I defend against the core formation level attack while looking for an opening. But Jian Myohoon, determined not to give me any openings, pours even stronger red lightning at me. I'll turn you into Seo Yunhyan Tempura. Crackle. In an instant, the lightning explodes. Is he finally dead? Jian Myohoon looks into the dust cloud with hopeful eyes. Seeing only ashes where Seo Yunhyan is supposed to be, Jian Myohoon smirks. Finally, I killed him, he's dead. I'm not dead. Thud. Contrary to Jian Myohoon's hopes, Seo Yunhyan appears out of thin air like a ghost and begins beating Jian Myohoon. After a while, Jian Myohoon lies on the ground, gasping for air. Seo Yunhyan says while holding his club, "Your movements have been improving lately. You've even evolved your red lightning quaking scripture to the early core formation stage. He looks at Jian Myohoon incredulously and asks, but how can you evolve the red lightning quaking scripture to that extent, yet still can't practice the rest of the 7 lightning quaking scripture? I don't know, don't ask. Jian Myohoon avoids the question. However, Jian Myohoon thinks to himself, good, I'm managing to deceive him. Lately, as Seo Yunhyan praised, Jian Myohoon had been increasingly able to make meaningful movements that allowed attacks against Seo Yunhyan. It wasn't that he had suddenly awakened a talent for martial arts. Recently, Jian Myohoon was gradually awakening a new sense. Not the vision of intent that Seo Yunhyan sees, nor the vision of the demon race that Hong Fan sees. It isn't the vision of fate seen by the Heaven tribe either. It is literally a third sense. The voice of lightning. Jian Myohoon calls it that. It whispers. He closes his eyes and concentrates on the voice of lightning. Lately, as he advanced in his cultivation, he felt more and more as if the lightning was speaking to him. At some point, Jian Myohoon followed the voices of the lightning in his practice of the lightning path method, discovering that there is a hidden secret in the red lightning quaking scripture. The lightning was whispering. The real name of the red lightning quaking scripture isn't this. They promise that if he follows them, he will reach even greater power. He gradually followed the voices of the lightning, and recently, his efforts are paying off. The number of times I'm able to make meaningful attacks against Seo Yunhyan is gradually increasing. Seo Yunhyan finds it strange that Jian Myohoon can't learn the vermilion lightning quaking scripture. But the reason Jian Myohoon can't learn the vermilion lightning quaking scripture is simple. The technique he is learning isn't the red lightning quaking scripture anymore. It's something higher. If I succeed in mastering this technique, I feel like I will become literally invincible. He looks up at Seo Yunhyan. Over the past 20 years, they have unknowingly become quite close through the cycle of being beaten, retaliating, and attacking. There were countless times he wanted to kill Seo Yunhyan, but that desire gradually turned into familiarity after reaching a certain threshold. And the desire to kill slowly transformed into a spirit of rivalry and competitiveness. I will definitely surpass him. Crackle, crackle. Jian Myohoon thinks, listening to the roaring voice of the red lightning within him. If I master this new technique guided by the lightning, perhaps I can beat him. He burns with a competitive spirit as he looks at Seo Yunhyan. I will definitely surpass you. It's when Jian Myohoon is glaring at Seo Yunhyan. Elder Jin and Jian Myohoon, it's about to start soon. Far away, Jin Sohei flies over using the flying escape technique and shouts. Hearing her, Jian Myohoon and Seo Yunhyan's eyes turn towards Jin Sohei. Jin Sohei lands next to Jian Myohoon, dusting off his clothes and helping him up. Is it time already? Seo Yunhyan, now Elder Jin again, asks Jin Sohei. Yes, Elder. Hong Fan is all prepared and just waiting for you to watch. All right. Jian Myohoon chuckles. Damn, ended up being later than him after all. Why are you even competitive with Hong Fan? Demon beast methods and human techniques are completely different. She pinches Jian Myohoon's side as she snaps at him. Jian Myohoon, though smiling on the outside, grimaces inwardly. Even purely in cultivation realm, even the pet demon beast he keeps the all surpass me. Seo Yunhyan. Seo Yunhyan uses the flying escape technique and heads somewhere, and Jian Myohoon and Jin Sohei follow him. But I will definitely surpass you. He thinks SB as he watches Seo Yunhyan, still far ahead in the distance. Whoosh! Have you arrived? Hong Suryong greets me. Golden Divine, Heavenly Thunder Sects guiding Thunder Peak. This place is where demon beasts of the appropriate realm come to face their heavenly tribulation. I nod to Hong Suryong. Members of the Golden Divine, Heavenly Thunder Sect are present around us. You've come, Master. There I smile at Hong Fan, who has now grown to the size of a small mountain, almost as large as a 3-story building in every segment. Today, having reached the grand perfection core formation stage, Hong Fan is about to attempt transformation into the nascent soul stage. // Discord https://dsc/gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 246, Multifaceted 3. The nascent soul stage of the demon race is referred to as the transformation stage, instead of the nascent soul stage like the human race, because it allows them to transform in human forms. To think you're already about to reach the transformation stage. I recall the time when Hong Fan was just a tiny centipede, squirming and clinging to my foot. That little centipede has now reached the stage capable of forming a nascent soul. It's all thanks to the Master's excellent guidance. No, it's all due to your talent. Your talent is truly unbelievable, perhaps even surpassing mine. In cases like Young Hoon Hyung Nim, it's understandable as he is an ender. But there are also those with outrageously unbelievable talents that just can't be comprehended. The Mad Lord Jo Yeon and Hong Fan are exactly such individuals. Hong Fan shakes his head at my words and says, "Perhaps to follow Master, this level of capability is necessary. My fate is tied to Master. This meager talent may just be what's required to keep up with Master. Didn't you, Master, reach the nascent soul stage in less than a year?" Well, let's not talk about my talent. When are we going to start? The right moment is approaching. Just as one needs to find the right moment for the 7 stars ritual at the Chi refining 7th star, the importance of finding the right moment continues to be crucial as one's realm advances. However, while timing accounts for 99% of the importance during the Chi refining 7th star, its significance gradually decreases in the later stages. When ascending to the core formation stage, the importance of timing is about 40%, and when reaching the nascent soul stage, it's about 20%. Of course, for demon beasts practicing the general Earth tribe method, timing isn't very crucial. Compared to the Heaven tribe, the importance of timing falls to mere cents instead of dollars. For Hong Fan, it only holds a 3 or 4% importance. However, despite being able to breach the nascent soul stage with his basic qualities alone, Hong Fan didn't want to miss even a sliver of possibility and sought the right moment that suited him best. "Please help me a little, Master. I get confused because I cannot directly see the celestial energy." I look up at the sky and inform him about the celestial energy. The energies of the ladle, ox, rooftop, chamber, and wall stars are intertwined and almost match your fortune. In about 1 day, your luck will align perfectly, increasing your chances of ascending to the nascent soul stage. Thank you. Please forgive this lowly being that, despite being from the Earth tribe, must borrow the timing of the heavens to ascend. All this talk of being modest or lowly is nothing but deceit. I smirk at Hong Fan's display of modesty. The ladle, ox, rooftop, chamber, and wall stars are the constellations that best match him. Among them, the ladle, ox, and chamber are the stars most suitable for lifting Hong Fan's energy, and the intertwining of these stars' energies is his celestial moment. And so, after a bit of idle chat and waiting for about a day, several close friends from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, including me, Jian Myung-hoon, Jin So-hei, and Hong Sur-yong, stand guard around Hong Fan. "Then, Master, I will begin." "Yes, now." I read the celestial energy and inform him of the power of the stars. "The energies of the ladle, ox, and rooftop are at their peaks. Start now." "Yes." His voice, imbued with spiritual power, becomes a chant. And Hong Fan's energy begins to rise. Kagagugugu. Hong Fan's demonic power surges. His consciousness begins to transform from his head, morphing into a shape similar to Hong Fan himself. Click, click, click. Hong Suryong forms hand seals, planting 8 lightning attribute banners around Hong Fan. Extinguishing lightning, outer heaven. The banners glow. The symbols of the 8 trigrams appear above each of the 8 flags, and each flag emits the power of the 8 trigrams, combining the inner and outer trigrams to create 16 trigram symbols. The 16 symbols rotate, creating 64 variations. Amidst those changes, lightning storms. Hong Suryong laid a formation to seize control of the space, creating a barrier around Hong Fan. This not only protects Hong Fan from external harm, but also serves as a protective measure for us who are performing his protective rites. Murky. A thick black gas of poisonous energy spews from Hong Fan, attempting to spread outwards, but being trapped by the formation laid by Hong Suryong, instead forming a cylindrical shape around Hong Fan in the air. The rocks and soil around him begin to melt away due to the toxicity. The tremendous poison energy, unleashed by a core formation, Demon Beast turns the inside of the formation into a wasteland where no life can survive. It's starting. Simultaneously, Hong Fan's consciousness rapidly contracts. The consciousness that had covered his body in his own form compresses inward toward his body. Kagagugugu. Noticing the change in Hong Fan, the celestial energy shifts, emitting dark clouds. Wowung. Receiving the timing of the ladle, ox, and rooftop, Hong Fan finally succeeds in compressing all his consciousness inside his demon core, deep within his body. Whoosh. As his lifespan changes, the heavens begin to unveil their power. Kurung Kururung. Golden heavenly tribulation thunders in the sky. Overcoming this is all that is needed for him to truly become a nascent soul stage demon beast. Just then, I frown. It's strange. Unusually so. Grand Elder Hong, is it normal for such a thing to happen when reaching the nascent soul stage? No, absolutely not. The amount of golden lightning is too excessive. Quarrung. A pillar of golden light strikes down from the sky, targeting the center of the poisonous energy where Hong Fan is condensing his nascent soul. It's literally a pillar of light. Not just any lightning. Lightning gathered and gathered, forming a cluster so massive that it can be mistaken for a genuine attack of a heavenly being stage cultivator, falling like a pillar. What in the world, what is that? I'm startled and look up at the sky. The power combined with my dual-colored heavenly tribulation. It's at least 7 times greater. It isn't even the dual-colored heavenly tribulation that Jian Myung-hoon and I had faced, but just the pure golden lightning for the nascent soul stage. Yet it is this powerful. Hong Fan, disperse your nascent soul. You aren't ready for this level of power. You can't handle it. I exclaim in horror at the sight of the insane magnitude of heavenly tribulation striking down on Hong Fan. Heaven's wrath descends upon the cultivator trying to defy the heavens by consolidating a nascent soul. Heavenly tribulation. Heaven's thunderous punishment pours down on Hong Fan. If it's detecting the nascent soul and striking down, scattering the nascent soul will break the chain of lightning. Hong Fan. I shout in terror at him. However, I see a shadow inside the pillar of light. It's Hong Fan's shadow. He is dancing. Using the fighting monster hidden weapon technique I taught him, he moves his long body faster and more accurately than anyone else to the weakest part of the heavenly lightning within the pillar of light. Is that lightning predicting eye? I momentarily think of the lightning predicting eye that allows one to detect the position of heavenly lightning through the vision of the heaven tribe. Otherwise, such movement is inexplicable. No, it can't be. Hong Fan is not of the heaven tribe. Then how can he display movements that require the lightning predicting eye? I think of one absurdly simple yet unbelievable possibility. Could it be not through the vision of the heaven tribe, but purely through his own senses? He's finding every gap in the lightning to burrow into its weaknesses to withstand it from within. What kind of talent does one need to be able to do that? Jian Myung-hoon stares blankly at the pillar of light. That terrifying golden heavenly tribulation. Inside, a centipede moves like a serpent. He feels a voice echo in his head as he watches the heavenly tribulation. The purification of great heavenly punishment, seek it. The purification of the great heavenly punishment. Suddenly, Jian Myung-hoon sees the fleeting figure of a woman inside the heavenly tribulation. Dressed in a palace attire made of lightning, with white hair flowing down and bare feet walking in the sky, it was the figure of a fairy whose face wasn't clearly visible. So beautiful. He instinctively reaches out towards the illusion glimpsed within the immense heavenly lightning. Somehow he feels blood rush downwards. But as soon as he reaches out, that illusion disappears as if it was a mirage. Jian Myung-hoon looks around. What, did I see it wrong? The others are only looking at Hong Fan inside the heavenly tribulation. He presses his throbbing temples with his index finger, frowning. The voice of the lightning has been getting louder recently. It seems clearer too. Did I see that illusion because of the voice of the lightning? Among those born with the powerful lineage of immortal beasts, there are occasionally those who face such monstrous heavenly tribulations. Hong Soo-yong murmurs in admiration. Does the lineage of immortal beasts really make them face such strong heavenly tribulations? Having received the true blood of an immortal beast myself, I'm puzzled and ask since it's news to me. Yes, it is said that the direct descendants of immortal beasts are born with tremendous power and privileges. But in return, they must face incredibly severe heavenly tribulations fitting for descendants of a true immortal. Well, does that mean Hong Fan is a direct descendant of an immortal beast? but I've never heard of centipedes among the immortal beasts. I look at Hong Fan puzzled. Maybe Hong Fan has secrets I don't know about. Hello? While I'm looking at Hong Fan with concern, I suddenly notice an unusual flow of intent and turn my gaze. So beautiful. It's Jian Myohun. That lunatic, what is he doing? He is looking at Hong Fan's heavenly tribulation, seemingly enchanted, revealing an intent of desire as he reaches out towards Hong Fan. Now he's even targeting a bug like Hong Fan for dual cultivation. I click my tongue, wondering how to make Jian Myohun come to his senses, and continue to focus my attention on Hong Fan. Kurung Kururung. Hong Fan continues to dance within the pillar of light. The fighting monster hidden weapon technique I taught Hong Fan isn't just about throwing hidden weapons. Logically, how can a centipede with its short limbs throw hidden weapons? Therefore, the fighting monster hidden weapon technique I taught Hong Fan transformed into secretly shooting from Hong Fan's body to disperse poison, rather than a technique of throwing weapons. Moreover, I incorporated the essence of Jiryon's movements, from the dragon form soaring claw that I had taught Beak into the fighting monster hidden weapon technique, making Hong Fan move as if he's a coiling dragon, dancing through the air. What he is using now is closer to completely new martial art, rather than the fighting monster hidden weapon technique. Well, once he fully undergoes transformation, I'll be able to properly teach him the fighting monster hidden weapon technique and other martial arts. The seemingly eternal baptism of heavenly lightning is almost coming to an end. I wonder what form Hong Fan will take after the transformation stage. The energy of the heavenly tribulation begins to subside. Then I suddenly look at the many grand elders of the golden divine, heavenly thunder sect gathered around. Is that the demon beast raised by Elder Jin? Indeed, it's extraordinary. As expected, even the demon beast raised by Elder Jin is extraordinary. Due to the extraordinary nature of Hong Fan's heavenly tribulation, most of the sect's grand elders gathered to witness his transformation. Boeing. Jin Byako also came to see Hong Fan's heavenly tribulation and clicked his tongue in amazement. Such an enormous heavenly tribulation. Elder Jin Yunhyan, is your demon beast perhaps born from the bloodline of some immortal beast? I'm not quite sure. He attached himself to me just before my ascension in the lower realm in Ascension Path. Ascension Path. Well, it's true that there are many unique demon beasts with great potential in Ascension Path. He nods, and I look at Hong Fan's shadow within the Pillar of Light. Now that the Pillar of Light has weakened significantly, it has dropped to the level of a normal heavenly tribulation. Hong Fan, seemingly able to withstand it with his bare body, stops dancing and sits down, looking up at the sky with his head held high. The shadow of a giant centipede raising its head towards the sky within the light resembles that of an emugi raising its head. And then it happens. Suddenly, Hong Fan's form begins to collapse. The shadow seen within the light appears to crumble, and I am momentarily shocked and consider rushing out. However, seeing that Hong Fan's intent and energy are still intact, I stop in my tracks. After a while, finally, the lengthy heavenly tribulation comes to an end. As I look at the spot where the heavenly tribulation had faded. There Hong Fan's shells are piled up, having collapsed. So the collapse of Hong Fan's form was because his shell had collapsed. He had molted upon reaching the nascent soul stage. Then, I look beneath Hong Fan's shells. Hong Fan completely succeeded in his transformation. Rustle. One of the shells shakes. And then, something small begins to emerge from inside. Hong Fan. I slowly approach it. Hong Suryong and a few grand elders, seemingly curious about Hong Fan's transformation, come close. I can feel Jin Byako focusing his gaze here as well. Finally, from under the trembling shell, Hong Fan completely emerges. Hong Fan. Master. I chuckle at the sight of Hong Fan. Indeed, a fitting form for you. Is this my form after the transformation stage? Hong Fan is speaking with his voice, rather than in the demon beast language. He seems uncomfortable with his human voice, touching his throat. Hong Fan has the appearance of an old man with white hair. Appearing to be almost 100 years old, the wrinkled old man wears a black robe, with eyebrows resembling centipede antennae and a beard about 2 spans long. It's a perfect match for his old man-like tone of speech, so I think it suits him quite well. Isn't this appearance too old? Is it okay for you, master? However, Hong Fan seems embarrassed about his aged appearance after his transformation and asks me. It's fine, I think it's perfectly acceptable. If master thinks it's okay. Satisfied with my response, Hong Fan naturally takes out the immortal demon bamboo, lights it, and takes a puff. Who? His appearance, puffing on the immortal demon bamboo and exhaling smoke in his old form, looks very natural. I'm curious. Hong Suryong steps forward and speaks. It's said that when demon beasts undergo their transformation for the first time, despite individual differences in appearance, most of them take on a young or even youthful form. How come this young fellow, who isn't even 20 years old, looks so aged? Hearing her words, Jin Bayako comes down and says, I seem to remember Hio Guak mentioning something about this. He read it in an ancient text from the Black Ghost Valley, stating that while most demon beasts appear young after their transformation, those with very old souls might appear aged. An old soul, what do you mean by that? I ask, puzzled. It's exactly as it sounds. In this world exists the cycle of reincarnation, and upon death, the soul goes to the netherworld to reincarnate into the next life. It is said that these souls are reborn into the next life having forgotten the memories of their previous lives. However, occasionally, there are souls that retain faint memories of their previous lives. Such souls are said to be old souls, according to Hio Guak. Previous lives. Then the source of Hong Fan's talent might indeed be something extraordinary from his past life. Well, anyway, congratulations on your transformation, Hong Fan. Thank you, Master. Have you felt anything like recalling your past life, as the Supreme Sect Master mentioned? I'm not sure about that. It doesn't seem like a lie. It appears that Hong Fan inherited qualities or subconscious traits from his previous life rather than explicit memories of it. Understood as a celebration. I'm about to go to my cave residence with Hong Fan when I suddenly look around. Supreme Sect Master. What is it? Have you seen Jian Myohoon around here? I'm puzzled to see that Jian Myohoon, who had come to watch Hong Fan's transformation with me, has disappeared. Where did he go? Then Jin Sohei steps forward and answers. He said he had something to look for and went to his cave residence. To his cave residence. I look towards Jian Myohoon's cave residence, next to the Thunder Tribute Hall. // Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 247, Multifaceted 4. Jian Myohoon breathes in and out with an excited breath. Who? He feels good. As if his lover is caressing every part of his body, Jian Myohoon moves forward with a vacant look in his eyes, listening to the voice of lightning that seems to stroke every corner of his mind. Whisper, whisper, whisper. A mysterious voice leads him. Inside here, further within. With a dumb look, he flings open the door to the Thunder Tribute Hall. The elder guarding the Thunder Tribute Hall is currently away, assisting in deploying the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect's protective barrier. Hong Fan's heavenly tribulation was so powerful that it necessitated the activation of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect's protective barrier to prevent the sect's formations from running rampant due to its aftermath. Thanks to this, Jian Myohoon is able to enter the Thunder Tribute Hall without facing any obstruction. Crackle sizzle. He enters the vast space inside the Thunder Tribute Hall and moves forward unabated. Many restrictions attempt to block Jian Myohoon, but as he waves his hand with a vacant look, most of the lightning-formed restrictions are absorbed by him and cleared away. Jian Myohoon walks foolishly to the edge of Thunder Tribute Hall. And then he takes a deep breath. What's a disciple of the Blue Lightning doing in Thunder Tribute Hall? It's that woman. The very illusion he had seen amidst Hong Fan's heavenly tribulation. Is she the elder of Thunder Tribute Hall? A woman dressed in palace attire formed of lightning, with long white hair and bare white feet. She does not reveal her face in detail, but asks Jian Myohoon. Child, this is not a place where one should enter recklessly. Did the elders not warn you? Only then does Jian Myohoon come to his senses. What? Thunder Tribute Hall? How did I end up at the place where the heavenly lightning banner is sealed? He smiles awkwardly at the woman in front of him. I apologize, this unworthy disciple got confused. Does this place look like somewhere you can just wander into if you're confused? I apologize. At Jian Myohoon's apology, she laughs with a melodious voice. Inside the desolate Thunder Tribute Hall, Jian Myohoon finds her echoing voice truly mystical. If you're sorry, then that's settled. Do you know where this is? This is the Thunder Tribute Hall. What is this place for? It's where the immortal treasure Heavenly Lightning Banner is sealed. With every question she asks, the woman with white hair takes slow steps towards Jian Myohoon, barefoot. Blue Lightning disciples cannot simply come as they please. Even Purple Lightning elders only enter when they need to handle the restrictions, and only the chosen ones among the Golden and Heavenly Lightning Grand Elders can enter this place. Yet, you, merely a disciple of Blue Lightning, have entered here. You should rightfully ask for punishment. Russell, her hand as white as her feet, caresses Jian Myohoon's cheek. I ought to scold you. Slip. All too naturally, her hand begins to untie Jian Myohoon's clothes. Caught off guard by her natural movements, Jian Myohoon fails to regain his senses, and soon his robe is undone. What is your name? I am Jian Myohoon. By now, Jian Myohoon should have realized something is amiss. It's absurd for any elder or grand elder secluded in a corner, and only focusing on seclusion, not to know him, given his status as the heavenly Golden Thunder body. However, Jian Myohoon didn't feel anything strange, let alone resist. I see, so that's how it is. Her delicate fingers trace over Jian Myohoon's chest. Why? Jian Myohoon, with a vacant look, stutters at the touch of her fingers. More, a little more. That's when. Thud. The delicate fingers stop in place. Jian Myohoon looks down at her. Her face isn't clearly visible. However, somehow Jian Myohoon feels like the owner of that face, hidden within the white hair, is wearing a bewitching smile. Why? Yet Jian Myohoon clearly feels that the smile, which should have been eerie and cunning, somehow seems too beautiful. As soon as he becomes aware of that smile, his mind feels as if it is engulfed in pleasure, burning white-hot. But Jian Myohoon fails to reach the peak of pleasure. Just before reaching the climax, something seems to block it. The woman with white hair laughs. Aren't you curious about my name? Yes, curious. Ask me. Your name, what is it? My name is Jingli. Jingli says with a mischievous smile. Call my name, then I will grant you the next level of pleasure. Just then, ZZZT. Above Jian Myohoon's neck, a dark curse spell emerges. Screech. Yaja. Simultaneously, the curse spell wraps around Jian Myohoon's neck, as if a noose made of curses formed, binding his neck tightly. Kiuk Kekuuk. Jian Myohoon clutches at his neck, screaming in pain. The next moment, the curse spell that formed around his neck reversed into a bright white, guiding Jian Myohoon's mind. Jian Myohoon regains his senses and looks around. What are you doing here, Jian Myohoon? And then an icy voice comes from behind him. I look at Jian Myohoon, who has regained his senses. What exactly happened? I've been training Jian Myohoon according to the methods of the Azure Heaven creation sect, and always carried a drop of his blood with me. As a curse sorcerer, having a part of someone's body means I can use curse spells to know their location and condition, a precaution in case he is kidnapped. Just a moment ago, when I checked his condition with a curse spell, Jian Myohoon was deeply ensnared in a powerful brainwashing. I turned my head to look at the Heavenly Lightning Banner sealed on the altar of the Thunder Tribute Hall. Perhaps because the extinguishing divine tribulating heavens is a collection of lightning path methods, unlike in my previous life, I can clearly see the Heavenly Lightning Banner. So that's it. I look at Jian Myohoon, who still seems not quite in his right mind, sporting a slightly dazed expression. The currents in his brain were clearly flowing strangely. I had rushed over before Jian Myohoon could do something rash, but it seemed he was about to do something under the influence of the Heavenly Lightning Banner. Fortunately, I seemed to have arrived just in time. Snap out of it, Jian Myohoon. I used the White Orchid Blessing incantation once more to clear Jian Myohoon's mind. Only then does he seem to fully regain his senses, suddenly standing up. That person was. That person. Seo Yunhyan, when did you get here? And where did the elder who guards Thunder Tribute Hall go? I frowned. She is not present. Currently, she temporarily vacated her post to assist with the activation of the sect's protective formations. What are you talking about? I mean her, the one with white hair and... Stop. Grasp. I rush to Jian Myohoon and cover his mouth directly. Azahi. Do not carelessly mention that name. Keep your mouth shut and from now on, blink once for yes and twice for no. Worried that he might not grasp the situation, I deliberately spread a killing intent while speaking. Receiving my killing intent, Jian Myohoon stiffens and stands rigidly in place. Did something happen here just now? Blink. Did you meet someone? Blink. That someone, did they? I recall how the Heavenly Lightning Banner asked me in my previous life to call its name. Did they reveal their name to you? Blink. I frown. Damn it. Cold sweat runs down my back. I could have inadvertently moved on to the 18th cycle without realizing it. Listen carefully, Jian Myohoon. The elder guarding Thunder Tribute Hall temporarily left their post due to Hong Fan's unexpected heavenly tribulation. Right now, there is no one else in the Thunder Tribute Hall besides you and me. Therefore, the white-haired elder you saw does not exist. Understand? Blink, blink, blink. He blinks frantically. It seems like he doesn't understand what I am saying. In simple terms, what you saw was not an elder of the sect, but some bewitching entity residing in Thunder Tribute Hall. Got it. Blink. You were momentarily enchanted by that bewitching entity, also. I sternly warned Jian Myohoon. Never, ever mention that bewitching entity's name. He again sends a gesture that he doesn't understand. The name that entity revealed to you is nothing less than a terrifying curse spell that will bring disaster upon the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. Understand? His eyes convey disbelief. I can't let it end like this. The most efficient way would be to kill or seal Jian Myohoon right now. Of course, I'm neither Seo Atrial nor the Mad Lord, and there's no reason for that. Then I have to persuade him. There's a hidden secret in the sect. Unleashing that secret could bring forth a terrible disaster. The Heavenly Lightning Banner sealed in this Thunder Tribute Hall is not just a divine object. The entity that revealed its name to you is probably the resentful spirit dwelling within the Heavenly Lightning Banner. I begin to concoct a plausible story for Jian Myohoon to believe. I have no choice but to avoid directly mentioning things like the owner of Heavenly Punishment, his immortal treasure Jingli, Yang Sujin, and so on, because Jian Myohoon might not be able to handle it. The history of the sect spans 120,000 years. Throughout that time, the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect has had countless enemies, and the resentment and lingering thoughts of those enemies have fused into that Heavenly Lightning Banner. What you heard was the name of that mass of resentment. Calling that name would release the resentment and grudges from the Heavenly Lightning Banner, potentially devastating the sect. It's the accumulated grudges of 120,000 years, impossible to handle. A look of bewilderment flashes in Jian Myohoon's eyes. Reading his intent, I guess what he means and explain. You're wondering why you don't know this when I do. Blink. Isn't it obvious? I'm going to be the future sect leader. Anyway, you must never call that entity's name again. Understand? Blink. I let go of Jian Myohoon's mouth. Ah damn, your grip is ridiculously strong. Jian Myohoon grumbles, massaging his jaw. As he grumbles, I secretly engrave another curse spell on the back of his neck, just in case. Should Jian Myohoon attempt to speak the true name of the Heavenly Lightning Banner, the spell will seal his voice and free him from the illusion of the Heavenly Lightning Banner, just like before. Let's get out of here. I push the grumbling Jian Myohoon's back, expelling him from the Thunder Tribute Hall and exit. Just before leaving the Thunder Tribute Hall, I stealthily look back. What is with that person? In my past life, the Heavenly Lightning Banner was clearly terrified of Jian Myohoon. But in this life, the Heavenly Lightning Banner not only isn't afraid of Jian Myohoon, but even seems to rejoice in his presence. Well, maybe it's because he hasn't grown enough yet. Thinking about it, Jian Myohoon was at least in the late stages of core formation in my past life, but right now, he is only at the early stage. Maybe it just isn't time to be afraid of him yet. I decide to increase the intensity of Jian Myohoon's training, as I close the door of Thunder Tribute Hall and leave. Inside the Thunder Tribute Hall, a woman with long white hair flowing down her back is sitting on top of the altar, her hands covering her face. Ahata. She chuckles mischievously, her shoulders shaking. John Myohun. John Myohun. John Myohun. The owner of the heavenly tribulation body has directly conveyed his name to me, Jian Myohun. She stretches out her hand into the void. The descendant of the golden deity has undone one layer of my seal, and the owner of the heavenly tribulation body has delivered his name to me. Her delicate white fingers caress the void. I can make a deal with the heavenly tribulation body. She speaks into the void. No, it is both a song and a ritual. O heavenly tribulation body, I shall elevate your talent and grant you the authority of the golden deity. In return, lend me the power of the heavenly tribulation body. I have already given you pleasure, now give me your power. The pleasure is already given and it cannot be taken back. Likewise, give me authority that I cannot return. I may not take back the pleasure, but what you give me, I shall kindly return. Crackle, crack. As she clenches her hand in the void, red lightning writhes and shoots toward the direction Jian Myohun had left. The next moment, something returns from the direction where the red lightning had been shot. She successfully catches something invisible in her hand. With this, she strikes the invisible object down around her. Clank. Simultaneously, one of the invisible chains binding her is released on the spot. One layer. Zzzzt. Simultaneously, the invisible thing in her hand shoots back in the direction Jian Myohun had left. In the darkness, the purification of the great heavenly punishment. Jingli laughs mischievously. There was an obstacle this time, so I couldn't reveal my name, but I will teach you the path of the red lightning heavenly tribulation, O owner of the heavenly tribulation body. However, you must provide me the power to undo the seal of the golden deity in return, whether you want to or not. Zzzzt. The next moment, only the heavenly lightning banner remains, placed atop the altar where Jingli had stood. Inside the Thunder Tribute Hall, the heavenly lightning banner chuckles mischievously, sinking into the darkness. Whether you want to or not, having received the payment, you must pay it back with interest. // Discord https://dsc.gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 248, Multifaceted 5. Translator, Translating Novice. Editor Z0rel. Woven. The dragon veins converge, forming a massive clump of spiritual energy. Blood soul. I bring over pieces of the nascent soul that I scattered throughout Thunder Spirit Island during the early stages of creating the nascent soul of the Earth tribe, and place them into the cluster of spiritual energy. Spirit of the mysterious bizarre goo. Then I insert the mysterious bizarre goo into the clump to form a consciousness. Woven. My vision splits in two. I look at the nascent soul floating before me, surrounded by a faint red aura. And from the perspective of the nascent soul, I can also see myself. It's my second nascent soul, created by combining the techniques of the blood soul and the mysterious bizarre goo. As long as this second nascent soul is alive, I can use it to cheat death once, even if my original nascent soul is destroyed. Swoosh. I insert the second nascent soul into Yuan Yu's body. Kagagugu. Energy surges within Yuan Yu's body, and Yuan Yu, who had been at the grand perfection of core formation, rises to the nascent soul stage. Since Yuan Yu is kind of my tool, there's no heavenly tribulation even when he reaches the nascent soul stage. With this, I now have at least two entities at the nascent soul stage at my disposal right away. Hong Fan and Yuan Yu. Zzzzt. I fill Yuan Yu's body with my curse spells, modifying Yuan Yu so that I can use him as a curse doll whenever necessary. Utilizing Yuan Yu's cockroach-like tenacity as my curse doll to assist me will elevate my power by a notch. Congratulations, Master. Hong Fan, standing next to me with his back hunched and hands behind his back, speaks. It's nothing. At best, he's a usable curse doll. I look at Hong Fan and say, rather, Hong Fan, I have higher expectations for you. That's an overestimation. Overestimation, what? I smirk at the tingling aura emanating from Hong Fan. A deadly level of poison energy. Poison, although seemingly weak on the surface, can wield a power stronger than any weapon depending on how it's used. Moreover, if mixed correctly, it can inflict fatal wounds regardless of the opponent's level. Therefore, even though Hong Fan's realm is only at the early stage of nascent soul, he can potentially inflict fatal injuries on cultivators several stages above him by using poison. The poison cultivation Hong Fan has mastered. There's a significant difference between poison methods of cultivators and that of martial artists. Martial artists typically hide poison in pouches to coat their weapons during emergencies, sprinkle it in powder form, mix it in food, disperse it in the wind, or dissolve it in water to poison their opponents. This is the usual toxic method martial artists learn. However, the poison cultivation of cultivators is different. They accumulate toxic energy in their bodies, cultivate poison pills that can store and mix poisons, and release them from within. Cultivators who practice poison cultivation often consume potent poisons to enhance their cultivation. Such cultivators usually have immunity to the poison stored in their poison pills and specialize in creating endless variations of poison to combat their enemies. And in Hong Fan's case early on, that is, during the Qi building stage, I shared some of my knowledge on poison cultivation with him, but afterwards he self-taught himself and developed unheard-of poisons. He advanced his poison cultivation on his own and has long since surpassed me in terms of poison. Your poison is something even I would find difficult to neutralize, so you will be a great asset to me in the future. Be mindful. My poison is nothing special. These material poisons can be detoxified with some time. They are merely ordinary. The true pinnacle of poison is your curse poison master. In front of it, whatever poison I develop cannot compare. Well, a curse isn't exactly a poison, but regardless. I look at Hong Fan. Hong Fan had succeeded in his transformation, and Yuan Yu had ascended to the nascent soul stage. Although Yuan Yu is essentially a backup life or a curse doll, I have regained all the powers of my prime with this. Your role from now on is crucial. Yes, I will engrave it in my heart. I recall the incident a few days ago, when Jian Myo-hoon was enchanted by the heavenly lightning banner. One must never be careless when dealing with entities related to a true immortal. The memory of Thunder Spirit Island evaporating when I carelessly summoned Jingli, after feeling reassured by looking at the celestial energy. Having experienced tense confrontations with Cohreal, I know how cunning and sinister those related to true immortals can be. Although I rescued Jian Myo-hoon before he called Jingli, at that time, Jingli had done something to Jian Myo-hoon by manipulating the lightning energy in his upper dantian. Knowing this, I can't be careless. I have to prepare even if it means overreacting. It wouldn't be surprising if the owner of Heavenly Punishment shows up above the Golden Divine, Heavenly Thunder sect right now. I look at Hong Fan and Yuan Yu, and beyond them, at the main building of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. I am currently in a valley, a little distance away from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect to elevate Yuan Yu to the nascent soul stage. It's about time. As I look up at the sky, a golden light flashes in the distance, and Hun Wei flies towards me. Unlike before, she openly brings along a cultivator at the heavenly being stage, not concealing her attendant at all. Her gaze falls on Yuan Yu and Hong Fan as she approaches me. I heard your pet beast underwent transformation. What's that one over there? One of my forces. Think of him as my subordinate. Well, as long as your power increases, it's good for me. Hun Wei smirks and asks. So, is everything going as planned? Yes, I plan to expand my influence step by step. In fact, many followers have recently joined me in the sect, which will make it easier to take action when the time comes. Haha, that's very good. Then what's the reason you called me today? To amend the content of the secret pact we made before. Oh, several years ago, I made a secret pact with Hun Wei, who wanted to establish a close relationship with the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. The content of the pact is as follows. Law Enforcer Hun Wei of Pinglai Palace and the future sect leader Jin Yun Hyan of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect agree to the following secret pact. If the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect loses its legitimacy due to an unforeseen accident, the Law Enforcer of Pinglai Palace will assist the successors of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect in rebuilding it. During this process, the Law Enforcer of Pinglai Palace will support the legitimacy of the newly rebuilt Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect and unconditionally support the decisions of its leadership to prove its legitimacy. If the rebuilt Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect successfully restores at least 20% of its original size in terms of legitimacy, the sect will appoint a representative from Pinglai Palace as an honorary Grand Elder of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. The rebuilt Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect promises a sisterhood alliance with Pinglai Palace through the future appointed honorary Grand Elder. The rebuilt Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect will establish a shrine to honor the ancestors of the old Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect and allow members of sects allied with the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect to pay their respects. This is the content of the secret pact between Hun Wei and me. The unforeseen accident, mentioned in the first article, is in anticipation of me stealing the Heavenly Lightning Banner in the future. A secret pact made to seal the Heavenly Lightning Banner in the Head Realm if Jian Myohoon turns out to be a lost cause. If Jian Myohoon turns out to be hopeless, I plan to steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner, declare a new Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, and transfer the sect's main base to the Head Realm. The second clauses support the legitimacy of the newly rebuilt Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, means that even if there is opposition from Jin Bayako or the Grand Elders, Hun Wei, as the law enforcer of Pinglai Palace, will support it. Furthermore, the legitimacy of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, represented by the divine object, the Heavenly Lightning Banner. The clause stating, unconditionally support the decisions of its leadership to prove its legitimacy, means assisting and supporting me when I go to seal the Heavenly Lightning Banner in the Head Realm. Clauses 1 and 2 are about providing aid for me to seal the Heavenly Lightning Banner through the new Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, while clauses 3, 4, and 5 are for Hun Wei's benefit. Clauses 3 and 4 will make the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect and Pinglai Palace closely related, and clause 5 is to allow Hun Wei's father, Hun One, to visit the shrine honoring the ancestors of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. According to her, her father, Grand Cultivator Hun One of the integration stage, still longs for his true love. Therefore, even without us marrying, this arrangement will sufficiently satisfy both parties. I can seal the Heavenly Lightning Banner, the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect can avoid destruction, Hun Wei can gain her father's recognition, and Hun One can feel the presence of his true love through his daughter. It's a win-win pact for all parties. Initially, I was content with this arrangement. But thinking about what happened to Jian Myohoon with the Heavenly Lightning Banner a few days ago, I became anxious. Originally, I planned to create many factions within the sect that follow me, take the Heavenly Lightning Banner, and declare a separate sect. That would indeed prove the legitimacy. However, I would like to add a clause that even if I take only the Heavenly Lightning Banner without a part of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect's forces, you will still recognize me personally as the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. Do you think that makes sense? Hun Wei furrows her brows. The reason I agreed to join hands with you is because my father loves the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. If there are no disciples, and only the Heavenly Lightning Banner and you personally are recognized as the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, my father will never acknowledge you as such. I have received the Jin surname, which signifies the position of sect leader of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, and I have mastered all the methods of the sect. With only the Heavenly Lightning Banner, which signifies the legitimacy of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, it would not be difficult to accept new disciples and establish another Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect as the sect leader. I'm not convinced. I read Hun Wei's intent. It's not about convincing her. She wants me to offer more favorable conditions. What do you want? I ask, realizing she wants some benefits. After all, her goal is to gain recognition from her father through her relationship with the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. So I'm prepared to create an honorary position that can symbolize her relationship with the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. However, Hun Wei's next words exceed my expectations. You said you wouldn't marry me or become dual cultivation partners, right? Yes, but then become my adopted son. Affiliation to a sect doesn't depend on blood relations, so even if you become my adopted son, there won't be any problem in the rebuilding of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. Considering the age difference, this should have been the correct approach from the start. It will give me more to say to my father, making it a beneficial condition for both of us, no. I'm not that much younger than her. What is this? I stare at her in disbelief for a moment, dumbfounded. I press my temples with my index finger, feeling a headache. Becoming an adopted son seems rather difficult. Then it will be difficult for me to modify the pact. Instead, how about making the vice sect leader who will assist me your adopted son? The sect leader position involves a lot of symbolic duties, so if I become your adopted son, I might even have to pass the Jin surname to you. But for a vice sect leader, there's no need for the Jin surname, and in terms of actual authority, they might even have more than the sect leader. Since I plan to appoint Yuan Yu as the vice sect leader anyway, it doesn't matter to me. Well, okay. Fortunately, it seems my persuasion works as Han Wei nods in agreement. But I have a condition. What is it? Honestly, recognizing and supporting you alone as the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect doesn't make sense. So, even if you obtain the Heavenly Lightning Banner and establish a separate Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, there must be at least 3 individuals from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect who follow you. Understand? Including myself, is a total of 4 people acceptable? Yes, can you gather that many? I ponder. If I mention sealing the Heavenly Lightning Banner, Yon Wei will definitely agree, and being Yon Wei's descendant, Yon Jin can be swayed to my side. That's one person. Jin Hwi Jin Byako, and others would flip if I said I was going to steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner. Jian Myohun. I'd have to tell him the truth to persuade him, but that might drive him mad, so that's definitely not an option. The same goes for Jin Sohei, who is one with Jian Myohun. I think about the Golden Divine, Heavenly Thunder sect's key figures, and the disciples who pledged loyalty to me. Those who claim to follow me are loyal to the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect system, not to me personally. They all have high pride in the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect's history and will never accept what I'm doing. So, I start to filter through those I can persuade, and eventually, another candidate emerges. Hong Suryong. If it comes to it, I might be able to persuade Hong Suryong. That makes 2 people. And lastly, since Yuan Yu has mastered the Taiji Quaking Lighting Body, I can insist that Yuan Yu is also a disciple of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. This way, the numbers add up. That makes 3 people. Including myself, that totals 4 people. Yes, I can gather the required number of people. Good, then I'll modify the pact. We add a special clause to the pact. In essence, if I am to steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner due to an unforeseen event and flee, and if I have 3 disciples of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect who follow me, she will recognize and support us 4 as the legitimate new Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. With this, the conditions are set. If Jian Myohun fails to meet my expectations and doesn't grow quickly enough, I plan to steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner and run away under the pretext of establishing a new Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect with my followers. However, in case of an emergency, if something happens between Jian Myohun and the Heavenly Lightning Banner, forcing me to steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner hastily, as long as I have 3 supporters, I can be recognized by Han Wei and Pinglai Palace for my legitimacy. Even if I steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner and run away, as long as only the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect is chasing me, I should be able to hold out. My concern is if the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect will issue a bounty for traitor Seo Yunhyan to the Human Race Grand Alliance. While I can handle the power of one sect, it'd be difficult to withstand if the elites of the Human Race Grand Alliance came after me. But having made such a pact with Han Wei, I will have the support of Pinglai Palace, one of the 6 major sects of the human race. This way, no bounty should be issued. After modifying the pact, Han Wei leaves, and I return to the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. Then before any unforeseen events occur, I need to persuade Hong Suryong. I head to Hong Suryong's cave residence. I wonder will Hong Suryong accept such a proposal. Although it's for preventing the demise of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, it is entangled with true immortal-related matters so I can't properly explain. Furthermore, what I am planning is essentially a betrayal. Even if I propose this, given her reclusive nature, she probably won't go telling the sect leader. Though we are nominally dual cultivation partners, I doubt she will accept such betrayal. I'm not sure if she will accept or not. Given her character, she wouldn't spill this to anyone else, so there's no issue in terms of secrecy. The real problem is her refusing to accompany me. With a nervous heart, I enter her cave residence. And then, all right, yes, I'm dumbfounded at her refreshingly straightforward acceptance. Well, as long as you let me continue my research and cultivation without any issues. Besides, you've practically mastered all the lightning path methods of the sect. You have the Jin surname, and as you said, if you obtain the heavenly lightning banner, there shouldn't be any major issues regarding legitimacy. No, that's not the problem. I ask in bewilderment at her too easy acceptance. Isn't this essentially a betrayal against the current sect leader and the supreme sect master? You're okay with accepting this so easily. What's the issue? Historically, the leaders of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect have always devoted themselves to the sect. I might not say it often, but I've always respected them. And Hong Suryong speaks while looking into my eyes. Don't even think about avoiding my gaze. Dripping with the intent of solely for the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, while playing coy about betrayal won't work on me. She laughs. No matter what, you're not intending to harm the sect, are you? I nod slowly without saying a word. Seeing my silence, Hong Suryong continues. Just promise me one thing. What is it? If what you've said happens, and you end up needing to act after obtaining the Heavenly Lightning Banner, the elders and grand elders of the sect will surely mobilize to capture you. That's very likely. I know you're hiding your true strength. I feel it every time we spar. Even if I give it my all, I wouldn't be a match for you. To even briefly match you, I'd have to invoke all my life force and cultivation. Your true strength is probably on par with, if not surpassing, the supreme sect master. I'm taken aback but manage to control my expression and intent. If you find yourself facing the elders and grand elders, show mercy so none of them end up dead. I promise not to let anyone die. Good, that's enough for me. I look at the easily accepting Hong Suryong. After a moment of silence, I ask, but why do you think a nascent soul stage elder like me would have such power? I've never truly shown my full strength in our spars, always ensuring she couldn't gauge my real capabilities. Yet unexpectedly, Hong Suryong has a sense of my real strength. Hearing my question, Hong Suryong smiles slightly. A woman's intuition. At her response, I can't help but let out a bitter laugh. Thank you. That's all I could say. Kurung Kururung. Dai Seo Yun Hyan. I dodged Jian Myo-hoon's lightning while still beating him. His skills are improving, no. Even with Hong Fan reaching nascent soul, my daily life remained the same. I continued to teach Jian Myo-hoon, focusing on elevating his cultivation through the methods of the Azure Heaven Creation sect. And it seems to be effective, as Jian Myo-hoon's cultivation and skills have been rapidly improving lately. Crackle. Red lightning, alive and unpredictable, shoots towards me from an unexpected angle. Swish. The lightning momentarily turns into a sharp blade, leaving a small cut on my cheek. Impressive. I genuinely look at Jian Myo-hoon with astonishment. The red lightning quaking scripture has evolved to the point where it can be considered a completely different method. In about 100 years, you might manage to put a couple more scratches on my cheek. I tease Jian Myo-hoon, provoking him as I hit him. Jian Myo-hoon's intent reddens further with my words, and each time, his lightning grows even more intense. Provoking Jian Myo-hoon's anger is also part of the training. Since he's been pampered within the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, provoking his anger to elevate his cultivation is quite effective. Damn it. Quite a jijik. Jian Myo-hoon unleashes all his lightning energy at me, then collapses to the ground, drained. I speak to the fallen Jian Myo-hoon. Well done for today, just keep growing like this. He breathes heavily, calming his anger, and I conclude today's training and return to my cave residence. Grow quickly, Jian Myo-hoon. Though I have plans to steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner as a last resort, that's insurance for the worst-case scenario. The best outcome will be for Jian Myo-hoon to awaken his abilities and seal the Heavenly Lightning Banner with his own hands. To prevent the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect's demise, it's necessary to expedite Jian Myo-hoon's growth. Damn it, damn it. Jian Myo-hoon curses at Seo Yun Hyan, who had left for his cave residence. Damn, it's still not enough. He irritably stands up and paces around. I need more. What Seo Yun Hyan didn't realize is that Jian Myo-hoon's red intent includes not only anger but also inferiority. Recently, Jian Myohoon's sense of inferiority has been intensifying. More and more, Jian Myohoon sits down and operates his method, gathering lightning energy. He focuses on the voice within the lightning. Wowung. Whisper, whisper, whisper. A strange voice reveals to him a cultivation method far more advanced than the 7 lightning quaking scripture. It's a method even more suited for controlling lightning. ZZZT. Jian Myohoon feels something leaving his body as he follows the voice but doesn't care. Anyway, as long as he follows the voice's instructions to guide his spiritual power, he gains even stronger power. He doesn't mind that his feelings of inferiority and anger strangely intensify as he focuses more on the voice. He has always had an inferiority complex, after all. I will definitely, by following the guidance of the lightning, surpass Seo Yun Hyan. Driven by the desire to surpass Seo Yun Hyan, Jian Myohoon is step by step growing stronger. \\\\\. Discord https://dsc.gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord.